now pretend to be Harvey.
I nearly made that joke and I was like, no, I'm not risking it. No, mind, like they're already recording.
Oh, let's do a podcast.
After that cold opening. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
A hot opening, not a cold one.
Good day and welcome to FRUK Unwrapped from the same studio that brings you Objectively Bad. We apologise. My name is Nate Peterson and tonight we will be staying in for some home cooking. But first, a kiss on the hand might be quite continental, but our first host is a grill's best friend. It's Stuart
Brilliant.
Stuart Bullock.
Well done. Slick.
Yeah.
Hello, Nathan.
I'm looking forward to getting called up to a proper professional podcast one day with openings like that.
It's only a matter of time, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You know that your openings are legendary.
Yeah, correct. You alright, Stuart?
I'm reasonable.
Good. We aim for reasonable on this podcast. Next, we've come a long, long way together through the hard times and the good. I have to celebrate him, baby. I have to praise him like I should. It's Michael Jameson.
Hello, mate. You're right.
I stumbled there because when I've written the intro, I've somehow put Stuart Bullock a second time. So
Wishful thinking.
And yet you didn't even say Stuart Bullock the first time, so you
No.
it's like you needed it to be written twice.
Yeah. How are you, Michael? Are you substantial?
Yeah. That's good.
You guested on another podcast this week.
I did, yeah. The Sacred Cow.
Was that your?
Yeah.
Was that your first non-us podcast?
Objectively Bad?
I mean, yeah. So non-us.
I can't actually remember.
Cool.
I'm not sure. I don't know. My memory's too bad.
Correct.
It vaguely feels like I might have been on another one, but maybe not. Probably not.
How was it? How were the guys over there? Did they treat you well?
Yeah, they did. They were really, really nice. It's a really, and I'm not just saying this, it is a really funny podcast. So they're viewers of FRUK. They reached out to us, said, initially they were just like, oh, check out our podcast, gave it a listen. I was laughing a lot. Genuinely a very funny podcast, as you said after, because we spoke briefly about it after I was on, because you gave it a listen. Very much in my wheelhouse in terms of humour. It was they're very extraordinarily dry, and they couple that with sort of irreverent, bizarre humour. So they talk about various things that are hilarious and funny, and yeah, so it was really good being on. I think I tried to force the humour a little bit too much in places, but I had Nate's
That doesn't sound like you.
No, God no.
Never done anything like that.
No,
But
it flows naturally, mate.
Because it was pretty much improv. I knew what questions were being asked to like percolate some ideas, but it was basically improv. So yeah, it was quite funny.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So yeah, anyone go and check it out. Listen to today. It's very funny.
Yeah, the only thing is it's somewhat hard to find. So if you search Podbean and then the Sacred Cow, or just maybe something will come up if you search the Sacred Cow. But it's by Sam and Simon, and yeah, I was on episode 8. So go and check it out. It's really, really funny.
Yes.
Good stuff. Up next, Give It To Me Baby. Give it to me baby. Give it to me baby. And all the FRUK fans say he's pretty fry for a white guy. It's Rich Milford.
Pretty good. Cheers, mate.
You're welcome. How are you?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Thanks for having me back after the sweeter or savourier debacle. Although, to be fair, I've been back since then. To be fair, I was thinking earlier which ones I've been on before, but I can't actually remember what the other themes were. I think it was dinner parties, was it?
Dinner parties and theme park food.
Theme park food, that was it. Yeah, that was a good one.
That was episode 35. Tonight's 62, so it's been quite a while since we've had you on. Yeah. But always a pleasure, never a chore.
No.
And finally, everybody's like Crystal, Maybeck, diamonds on your timepiece, Chet Plains Islands, tigers on a gold leash. We don't care. We are caught up in your love affair, but we'll never be broiled. Broiled. It's Toni Milford.
Hey, I love that.
You've all got song, pun, themed, frying, cooking related intros today. So,
Very
how are you,
nice.
Toni?
Very well, thank you.
You've only been on once before, unlike your husband, who's making the 4th appearance. This is your 2nd appearance.
Yes.
We wanted to have you on before, but the other guys overruled me, so I do apologise for that. Otherwise, we would have had you on every week. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
How are you coping with... This is a question to both of you. How are you coping with lockdown-a-mania?
Not
Not
too bad, actually.
Finishing each other's sentences now. We're spending so much time together.
Oh,
I mean,
let's get married.
arguing quite a lot.
No,
we're not really.
Rachel said the other day we've done quite well to self-isolate in a one-bedroom flat.
Yeah. To be fair, the first few weeks were weird, but I was saying to Toni the other day that it's actually becoming a normality now. Queuing outside, not just like the staying at home, not doing anything, queuing outside a supermarket. Yeah, normal now. When things change, it'll be weird to not queue outside a supermarket. Be weird to shake someone's hand again.
God, awful. Like I don't know. I sort of feel like you should plan like who gets the first one. Because imagine wasting it on some just like random fella.
I heard yesterday some fact about why people shake hands. Apparently people used to do it to prove they were unarmed.
Correct.
So that's a nice little fun fact.
Yeah.
Really weird that I was having exactly the same conversation earlier today.
Really?
Literally had the same conversation
With
today.
Toni?
With Toni, yeah.
And so when you were saying the podcast, I was like, well, I've got this fun fact.
Yeah.
Correct.
So fun. Did it twice.
But yeah, no, it's like you say, it's the new norm. The new norm, and it's going to be weird when all these...
Yeah.
It's going to be weird to spend, be in the company of someone without it having to be...
Yeah, no, completely.
Yeah, I've got to that stage where I'm watching TV, and there'll be, people on TV hugging each other, whatever, and I'm like, that's weird. Oh, wait, no, that they're allowed to go out.
Yeah. I think, as you said, I think we're dealing with it pretty well, because I'm back at work now. It's kind of not much different to life in general, apart from just obviously, I just miss going to the cinema and just going out for a meal. That's the main thing. But apart from
horrible,
that, we're having loads of street parties. So
correct.
That's a joke.
If only it was VE Day every day.
If only we could celebrate the dead every day.
The dead more often. Maybe we'll have a coronavirus VE Day at some point.
Oh God, too soon.
Too soon?
I said to Rich, though, it has taken as much as I don't mind the whole supermarket thing, and I get it, and I'm all behind it. I used to love just if Rich was nipping to the supermarket or something, I'd just go in with him and just and just casually browse a supermarket and find something random. Whereas I find I get so stressed when I go shopping, trying to stick to the light lanes, because I am sticking to the lanes, regardless of what other people are doing. Mm-hmm. So then suddenly early, I missed an aisle and then went to go back round, and then I was like, oh, hold on, no, because that one's going the other way, so I've now got to go up this one to go back round, blah, blah. Yeah. And it's fine, it's not even an issue. It's more that I have to give myself a pep talk, right, this is fine, take your time, chill out, you're not in a rush, I can just do all this. But I do get a bit... It's taken the fun out of supermarket shopping. Oh, it's horrendous.
Do you know what's weird? People don't mind queuing up outside for about half an hour, at 2 meters distance. But then as soon as you're inside, no one that 2 meter distance for the majority of people is just gone.
Yeah, it's people just showing, almost like they're showing that they understand what the rules are, rather than actually understanding what the point. Like when you see people wearing a mask and they've cut a hole in it so that they can breathe properly, it's like. Yeah. What are you doing, you absolute idiots? But I don't know if you've been into any... You say that about the supermarket. I haven't been into a proper supermarket in about 2 months now. The only shop that I've been into is Tesco Garage, and they still try and have the same rules, trying to go up the certain lanes and all that, the aisles and stay within outside your distance. But the problem is when you're queuing up in a petrol station and the door's basically right by the queue, there's no way that people can get in when you're stood right by the door,
Yeah.
so it's all just bollocks basically.
Yeah.
So that's
Which is a shame because everyone's trying their best, like the company are trying to do it all.
of course,
It just doesn't always work. But
No. We were just talking off air about your wonderful business, your little cookie mill.
Yeah.
Second anniversary vibes on the horizon.
Yeah. 28th of May. I think it's the 28th. 27th or 28th of May is our second birthday, and we've got a little treat in store for everyone.
You are, and you've sent us all these to try on the.
Sent MJ 2 of them.
Oh, they were my joint favourite.
Although they're slightly different now to when you had them, because I'm not using. Although I suppose this is going out. This will probably be going out after the birthday, won't it?
when's
2
it?
days' time.
Oh, this is going out in 2 days.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, okay. I won't say then. But yeah, MJ's had.
Yeah,
I'll basically say what MJ had one with white chocolate Smarties in, but now it's not white chocolate Smarties. It's just white chocolate.
but yeah, we've been doing some local deliveries. So when we had a delivery in Aylesbury, we've dropped some to MJ.
Yeah. We had a delivery in Manchester as well. With,
Stuart was out, so it's a shame actually after that drive.
Yeah.
Essential journey as well. So.
No, the cookies are absolutely incredible though, and if you're listening to this, you need to buy them. I will be buying a box 100%.
Cheers, mate.
You're tying it back into quarantine. Are you at full capacity at the moment, or you reduced because of the
Still
issue?
slightly reduced. Obviously, I'm just doing Easter flavours at the moment, so I'm basically using up, my stock of Easter eggs that I bought earlier this year, like cream eggs, Oreo eggs, and Reese's eggs. Then once they're gone, they're gone. Then we're going to do this a 2-week run of this special edition thing, and then back to classic flavours. So we've got the original choc chunk, triple chocolate salt caramel, white chocolate raspberry, lemon meringue pie, hazelnut heaven, and cherry berry bakewell.
Nice.
But yeah, it's ingredients you're still having trouble, isn't it?
Yeah, the biggest thing at the moment is getting hold of things like butter and eggs.
Eggs
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tesco.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
So you're just doing the special one after this. You're not doing that plus normals.
No, just basically just so I can make as many as possible, just to give people like a 2-week chance to.
And it's
get
a little
their
break
hands
in
on it.
between, so it's kind of like Easter, a little break of something special, and then back to normal. So
Yeah.
it's kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to, because I still get my eggs from Tesco, because I haven't found a proper egg, supplier yet. Yeah, I haven't found many hens yet. Yeah. So obviously I'm not going in there all the time. I'm only going in there kind of sparingly, getting eggs when I can, because obviously I don't want to. Before lockdown, I was literally emptying all their shelves of eggs and butter usually, but not obviously going to do that now.
Well, obviously I haven't tried the new one, but I can only imagine that it is an absolute winner because they all are, mate. So
what's the one that you said, was it cherry bakewell that you tried recently, and you said you weren't sure if you were going to like it?
lemon meringue.
Lemon meringue, sorry, that was it.
Yeah. And it's turned out to possibly be my favourite, or at least one of my favourites. Yeah.
Favourite as well.
Which one?
Lemon meringue.
Oh yeah, lemon meringue. Loving that.
Yeah. It's really surprised me.
Marshmallow
Stunning.
bread goes so well in a cookie.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's funny when he did it the first time round, it was never one that I was choosing as often. But every time I had it, I loved it. Whereas now, if he's had like a few spare that have like come out the oven, not looking great, or whatever, and he hasn't sent them off, that like lemon. Now I'm kind of like, are there any lemon meringue? Have we got any lemon meringue? I want the lemon meringue. So yeah, now I'm actually like going for it.
Absolute cracking little cookie, but they all are. They all are.
Yeah, we put a post up earlier talking about favourites, so we got quite a mixed review, which is nice. Like a mixed bag of reviews.
You've got a mixed review, which is nice. Always nice when some people don't like your stuff.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. Right, moving on. I am going to play a little game with you both called Random Questions Season 2, because I don't think either of you have played it. So could each of you please give me 2 numbers between 1 and 10, please?
I'll let you go first.
2 numbers, 8 and 3, please.
8 and 3. Okie dokie. So, Tony, how much would you need to be paid to eat an entire tin of dog food in one sitting?
Oh. Oh.
Is this before my furlough salary, or is this like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be noted. I wrote some of these questions pre coronavirus, so I do apologise if any of them are.
What was it? Rich tried to get me to eat something random yesterday. And he
Yeah,
was
I was just going to say that.
like a plaster or
it's,
something.
It's gross. So gross.
I can't remember what it was.
You know those Compeed blister plasters?
Oh.
God.
Sorry.
I peeled one of those off, and I was just before I threw it away, I was like, realistically, like not joking, how much would I have to pay you to eat this? And I think it was about 5,000.
Yeah.
You know when I said earlier how you're dealing with
Yeah.
I think not as well as you think.
Yeah.
To be honest, 'cause-
Yeah, because I used to do it for about 200 quid, but now got
yeah,
my income now.
How much would you need to be paid to eat an entire tin of dog food? Don't worry, we're not going to offer you the money, so it's not a real offer.
I mean, dog food's not as bad as the plaster, so
I think I'd rather eat the plaster.
You can swallow it without really.
Yeah.
oh
Really?
god, no. If you gag just thinking about it. I don't know, 750 quid.
What? That's exact.
Well, because I was thinking somewhere between 500 and 1,000.
I'd have to do it. It would have to be above 1,000 for me.
Right, well, we'll see what we've got in the Patreon.
We'll have a whip around.
What was your other?
Not a whip it.
Correct. I'll whip it around. Number 3 was favourite crisps / chips.
Oh, the crisps I eat the most are actually just Walker's Ready Salted, which is so boring.
Wow.
But they're so good as well, though.
Sorry,
So
Walkers.
yeah, just the Walker, yeah, just Ready Salted, yeah. So I normally just keep those in the cupboard for if ever I'm just, want a bit of a savoury snack. At home.
If you ever feel like your life's too interesting, you should just
Which is like, calm down, have yourself some plain crisps. But if I'm getting like a meal deal and I'm getting like crisps to go alongside, what will I always go for, Rich?
Quavers.
Quavers, yes.
Look at you answering each other's little questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do I get, Rich? Oh, Quavers.
We can only go into the supermarket one at a time now, so I'm like, Rich, make sure you get the right crisps for me.
Yeah.
Correct. Mr. Milford. 2 numbers, please.
I will go for 2 and 6.
2 and 6. 2. Favourite sandwich.
Oh, favourite sandwich.
Ooh.
What, shop bought or homemade, or is it?
Just anything. What's your favourite sandwich? What do you want to slam between some bread, my friend?
I'm just a classic
Walker's crisps.
chicken salad kind of guy. If I'm making it myself, if I'm buying it from a supermarket, it's going to be chicken and stuffing, because that's probably the best supermarket sandwich that you
What
can
kind
get.
of salad do you put in yours?
Just basic lettuce and tomato, bit of mayo, cooked chicken, bread, obviously.
White or brown or
Always brown. Always seeded. Like what is it? Hovis that we get, or is it? It's the seed sensation. Seed
yeah.
sensation. I don't know if it's.
I think it's Hovis.
Hovis seed sensation.
Sweet sensation. No. The bread is what we get. Ah, no, Stuart, go
It's
on.
funny. That's what the cashier at the Tesco always sings when I buy it.
I need to get the lyrics up now so I can do a good.
no, you don't. Okay, lovely. And number 6. What is the weirdest animal you've eaten / would like to eat?
Weirdest animal I've eaten. What do we have at Shaka Zulu?
The crocodile cigars.
Yeah, crocodile.
Cigars.
Yeah, crocodile. Was it cigar?
They're like, they're basically like long strips. So I suppose like chicken tenders.
Yeah.
Or like chicken
It was-
strips.
yeah, it
but they
looked
were
like a
just called
satay skewer.
cigars.
But yeah, crocodile. So that was quite weird. Pretty good though.
Do you like it? Very, very
yeah.
chickeny.
Yeah. Eel is quite weird that I've had before. That was, but that was really, really good as well.
Yeah, smoked eel. That was the tits, and I'd never think that it would be.
I would like to try bat. No, I don't really know what I'd like to try. I'd like to try. I'd like to get into more gamey kind of meats because I'm not really a game kind of guy.
Well, like Cooper.
What's that?
Cooper meat.
Don't understand that joke, Michael.
Cooper, like Cooper meat and Goomba meat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Mario. Yeah.
Wow,
It's a really good
Game-
joke, Michael.
That's a good joke. A real
right,
good joke.
yeah.
Laugh at all the jokes that are the same
Mario.
quality. It's a good joke. It's game. It's
Which is funny actually, because didn't you try eating a Nintendo Switch game?
I did review a Switch game.
Are you okay, MJ?
What's that?
Are you okay?
Carry on.
Lovely choices. Thank you very much, Mr. and Mrs. Milford. Moving on swiftly away from MJ. Quivia.
Quaveria.
Oh.
Quifia.
Walker's
Can I
Quaveria.
just say something really quick?
You may.
It's not a meat, but I'd quite like to try an ostrich egg. Is that weird?
No?
Stuart's obviously not all over it at all. But I saw there's a YouTube channel called Bon Appetit where they had an ostrich egg and they made something out of it and it looked insane. And I'd quite like to try that.
What did they
Oh,
make
is
out
that
of it?
the Binging with Babish episode?
Yes, yeah, it was.
I can't get into him.
What, Binging
No,
with Babish?
I don't,
Babish.
no, I don't really like him. I used
No.
to, but he's a little bit annoying.
I used to like him, except for the fact that he was annoying.
I cannot even imagine how anyone could find him annoying. What do you find annoying about him?
I just think I think he tries too hard.
Wow.
But
Fair.
you're friends with him, MJ?
No, I just don't really get on with it. No, I just don't really get on with his whole persona.
Oh, that is fascinating.
Why don't you like him, Stuart?
He's a bit. I don't know. I tried to watch some and I just found it. He's a bit broy and. Oh no.
I suppose I hate polite.
Sorry, go on.
It's going to be quite a tirade. You better go first.
I was just going to say the same. There's another guy from the Bon Appetit channel called Brad Leone. Do you know? He does a channel called It's Alive with Brad, and Babesh was on one of his episodes, and I just felt like he was just really trying too hard to be funny, and that's what kind of that episode that he was on.
Oh, I'll have to have a look. I think there's maybe an air of when he's in things like doing stuff with Jon Favreau and whatnot, and he's like with these huge people, he maybe feels like he has to try and live up to them a little bit. There could be an air of that, but I
was going to say I think Jon Favreau lost a lot of weight. I don't think he's that huge.
Anyway, let's talk about something else.
Well,
yeah, crazy. I highly recommend Binging with Babish and would urge listeners to disregard any other opinions you heard tonight.
Well, perhaps we will review a episode of it on our new podcast that you can find on Patreon at some point in the near future called TV Dinners.
Wow, that is not on the silver tier, that is on the gold tier.
It is on the gold tier, so
May
you
have
have to pay an
previously
extra few dollars per month, not what MJ said last time. Anyway.
No, not correct. Not what Nate said and that I agreed with.
You said, my friend.
No, you said it.
No, we're going to...
No, you said it and I agreed with it.
Can
We can listen back to it. But
Stuart,
that's
can you get the audio, please?
I think it's MJ that said it.
No,
Yeah,
it is 100% Nate that said it and I agree.
I said gold, you jumped in with silver, and I just assumed that you decided to put it on the silver, so I agreed with you. You're the guy that runs the Patreon, mate.
Wow, I am being chastised.
Chastised? Is that a cooking thing? We'll find out for later. Right, Quivia.
Q-U-I-V-I-A. Yeah, it's Quivia time to play Quivia. Q-U-I-V-I-A. Yeah, it's Quivia time to play some Quivia. It's like a cross between some trivia and a quiz and a such extends apart the two of those two aforementioned words. Q-U-I-V-I-A. Yeah, it's Quivia time to play some Quivia. Q-U-I-V-I-A. Yeah, it's Quivia time to play some Quivia.
I am livid, fuming. I'm making enough mistakes without needing to be forgiven mistakes that I didn't make.
I
you
haven't
can
played
press anyway.
Quivia for a while. Do I need a paper and pen?
Nah. Just your brain
Oh, good.
and a
Depends
mouth
if
to
you-
relay answers.
Stuart might need pen and paper because he did shit last time. Time
Right.
before last.
Right.
The only
Right.
time he's ever done
Right. I have 5 questions for you. They are all world record attempts. They are all to do with cooking, not necessarily home cooking. They're all to do with cooking. Cooking records. Here we go. Question 1. Longest home kitchen cooking session by an individual. I'm going to start with Rich. What is the longest session someone has cooked at home in their own kitchen?
Longest session. World record attempt, or
success, really.
Success. Yeah.
Attempts are just.
I'm just wondering if they actually went for it, or if it was an accidental success.
Oh. I would.
I'm going to say 40 hours.
40 hours. Toni.
Yeah, it's going to be obviously like a couple of days at least, I would say. So, yeah, I'm going to go 50.
50 hours. Michael Jameson.
So is there an implication here that they didn't sleep?
Well, that's what I was going by. I was going by how long can a person go without sleep?
Yeah, and I was thinking, like, if it was like like when people say, oh, I'm going to dance for like 24 hours, that kind of thing, and if it was like a mass. Because was it just one person? Or was
it was one person, and they were cooking at home in their kitchen. So it wasn't like a working environment or anything like that.
Could be like some slow cooking involved. It's pretty hard to say. I'm going to say 42 hours and a half.
42.5. And Stuart Bullock. Or Bullock, as I pronounced it earlier.
52 hours.
52 hours. Okie dokie. Question number 2. Longest stainless steel cooking spoon in meters. We're going to start with Toni on this one.
Longest what, sorry?
Stainless steel cooking spoon.
Oh, God. In meters, did you say?
Mm-hmm.
3.
Michael?
I don't think it could possibly be bigger than the spoon that you're stirring shit with, saying that I was the one that made the plate. But, Christ. Oh, God. Oh, my God. I just knocked my bloody Lego model that I've been working on for...
Can't see it. Can't see it because of the nice background you got.
So, if that's about a metre, yeah, 2.37?
2.37.
Oh, that's ridiculously small.
Stuart?
5.5 meters.
And Rich?
I think you guys have gone too small. I'm just gonna say 10. I think it's going to be above 10.
Yeah, maybe it'll be something like industrial. Oh no,
I think it's going to be something ridiculous. Like what was it before that you asked? Like, what was the world's longest sausage roll or something? And it was like 3 miles. And it was like, well, no oven can fit that.
Saying that though, that lasagna they were going to make for lockdown that was going to fit in Wembley.
Yeah. Maybe.
What did they use to stir that?
In Wembley. Most lasagnas fit in Wembley.
Yeah.
3 mile long sausage roll. Yeah, Greg's is different up north, isn't it?
Yeah. Question number 3, starting with MJ on this one. Most people cooking simultaneously at an event.
At an event?
Yes. So, i.e., because obviously, if you think about it, there's probably around the world thousands and millions of people cooking simultaneously at any given time. But a specific event in a specific gathering.
So, for example, that could be a chili festival, pod exemplar.
It could be if it was a chili festival that did it, yeah.
Right. So, okay. God.
Could it also be a lasagna festival?
It could be in Wembley Stadium, no less.
Yeah.
2117.
2117. Good. And then Stuart.
4,037.
Oh.
Rich.
I'm going to go big again. I'm going to say 35,000.
And Toni.
12,304.
All of you are so precise, yet like you're miles away from each other. You just, except for Rich, of course. Question 4: largest serving of cooked artichokes in kilograms.
Largest serving.
Yeah. So this is Stuart to start on this one.
In kilograms of cooked artichokes.
Kilograms.
When you say a serving, do you mean this was served up to someone?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
I don't believe it was served up to one person. No, I don't think someone asked for the
This was the guy that did the longest hours of cooking. All he was doing was artichokes.
When you see like per serving size, like the calories.
Yeah.
So have the grande artichokes.
It's for 372 kilograms.
3.
Fucking hell, that's a lot.
Thanks. Coming back to you, Rich.
372 kilos. I mean, I'm just thinking how much a bag of 20 kilo sugar weighs when I take that to the mill, and that is a lot of artichokes, surely.
That's sugar, though, isn't it?
I'm going to say, yeah, true, yeah. What weighs more, feather or an artichoke? That's not the rhyme. Anyway, I'm going to say 10 kilos.
10 kilos. Toni?
I'm going to say 70.
70 kilos. And Michael Jameson?
188 kilos. That's kilograms.
Weird that you guys, I've gone higher for all the other ones, and you guys have gone high for this one, and I've gone low.
Very funny.
Artichokes.
Number 5, final one. Number of viewers at the world's largest testicle cooking championships.
Oh, yes.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Is this televised viewers or?
No, live viewers. And we are finishing with Rich.
Live viewers, testicle. What was it called? Official name? Testicle what?
It's the world's largest testicle cooking championship. If you want to know, it's called the Ball Cup.
The Ball Cup. I can't imagine.
Not the Bullock Cup.
No.
I imagine this would be more than 1 million. So. No, I'm 3,000.
3,000. Toni.
I'm going to go lower. I think.
Yeah, I think that's too high.
270.
Too low.
MJ.
How many people were watching live? So how many people were at the event watching it?
Yes.
1,920.
And Bullock.
Lowballed it.
Lowballed.
3,500.
That's more. That's so more like it. It realistically, it's 3,300.
Okay. The answers are longest home time kitchen cooking session by an individual. That's quite hard to say. 68 hours, 30 minutes, and 1 second.
Wow.
Achieved by Ricky Lumpkin II in LA during 2018. The stunt was for the World Vision charity, raising cash.
What did he make?
It didn't say.
Crap load of artichokes.
Didn't care to look.
Thousands, probably.
Yeah. Correct. Well done. Question 2. Largest stainless steel cooking spoon was dead on Rich 10 meters.
Wow.
Created by the Rosler company in Germany in 2006. Again, I believe that was a stunt. I don't think they were using that for official cooking. Question 3. Most people cooking simultaneously for our American friends. 2,853. So sorry, I should have said Stuart got the point on the first one, Rich on the second one, MJ gets the point on the third one. It was achieved at an event in Dolina Charlotte Resort and Spa in Poland on the 13th of June 2005, my 36th
what was
birthday.
It? Dumplings?
The event was part of the European Barbecue Championships.
Wow, I bet that's amazing.
Correct. Largest serving of cooked artichokes in kilograms. Rich said that 372 kilograms was far too much. Imagine when he finds out it was 1,150 kilograms.
Ooh.
2,535
one serving.
And was achieved by Manu Yabras and Josper SA, both in Spain.
They probably use that. They probably use that massive spoon.
What was done with it all then?
Eaten, probably. 5. Number of viewers at the world's largest testicle cooking championships, the Ball Cup, which is held in Serbia.
Good to hear it's still being held there.
Correct.
Is there a film on it at all?
No, I haven't checked. But we should always hold the balls. 1,000 viewers watched 12 teams cooking bull, boar, camel, ostrich, and kangaroo nads. And that went to Toni on that one. So the winner with 2 points is Stuart.
Thank you.
Well done, Stuart.
Subsidiary question: out of all the listed animals, which animals' balls would you be most prepared to eat?
Great.
What was the choices again?
Bull, boar, camel, ostrich, kangaroo.
Bull, probably.
Kangaroo's jumping out at me.
Yeah, kangaroo. I was going to say
it is jumping out at you.
Nice, yeah.
Kidding.
Yeah, I feel like kangaroo, possibly, if I had to.
I wonder about the boar because it's pork, isn't it? At the end of the day,
it is.
Maybe the boar.
Yeah, I think I'd probably eat the boar.
I'm thinking size. I feel like the kangaroo might be a little bit smaller, might be a bit easier to get down.
Do you have to eat the whole thing?
Kangaroo's probably just down under the ball, I'd say.
I fully imagine that the balls are fairly delicious.
I mean, there's nothing.
Tony, what do you
Because it must. I mean, it's a big jump, isn't it, to eat balls? So if you're going to continue to eat them and have championships, then surely they must be delicious.
Well, maybe you should find out, Stuart.
The texture's like.
Oh, I mean,
you're the one posing this hypothesis, and therefore probably the person that should undertake the test.
When's it held, Nate? Because Stuart might be changing his holiday plans. And
yeah.
If you can't go to Disney, you may as well go to the Ball Cup.
Yeah, I'm sure Gemma, famed vegetarian Gemma, would be absolutely thrilled to go to the Ball Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could just write Mickey Mouse's balls.
All right. Lovely stuff. Well done, Stuart. Well done on winning at the guessing game.
Thank you.
If you at home have eaten testicles before, please comment below and let us know. Right, let's get into tonight's subject, which is all about home cooking. I'm just going to fill some time while I just quickly switch on the light. First of all, I want to thank Carl Peak Waite, who suggested this originally. We added it to the list, so thank you very much, Carl. Rich then picked from a list of various other things, so thank you very much. Rich, I don't really cook from home. In fact, I nearly ruined custard in the microwave today, so I shouldn't have any part of this conversation.
How many meals have you made, Nate?
How many meals have I made? I mean, I don't keep a list. I don't have a spreadsheet colour-coded like you would, probably.
I don't need you for 2, do you?
Ooh.
Just 2 meals. Little post-it note.
Right.
Sorry, Rich, can you just take out Tony's microphone, please? I would guess max across my lifetime 50 max. But even then, I'm being very generous with the truth.
Really?
That's amazing.
Wow. Yeah, I reckon
right, let me put a scenario to you. Laura's away for the weekend. You're on your own. All takeaways are closed. What are you cooking for yourself?
Break them down.
But you can choose anything from the supermarkets. What are you cooking for yourself?
Oh God, the absolute easiest thing. It will be beans on toast And
Do you think you can do that justice?
And when I say possibly
Salt and pepper.
When I'm counting 50 meals, I'm not including things like that because that is just.
Yeah,
I'm talking about a proper meal that involves a number of ingredients. Yeah.
This is another thing that leads me on, because when Toni used to make like chicken Kievs and like I don't know, like chips in the oven, and you called it like, "Oh, I'm cooking tonight," or something that I was just spent ages cooking. I'm just like, well, you actually just warmed things up.
Shut up.
Yeah. That would be the sort of thing that I would do, though, if I realistically was on my own and left to my own devices. I would probably end up just having that type of food, to be honest. It stresses me out. I when I have turned my hand to it and I have done some meals, I'm fairly happy with the results. I don't think I'm a bad cook necessarily. It just is the most stressful thing for me.
If Laura said to you, this year you're doing Christmas dinner, I don't care what you say, I'm not doing it.
Oh, I'd probably file for divorce, if I'm honest. I couldn't. Literally, to me, roast dinner is possibly the worst thing you could ask me to cook, just because of the number of components and timings and everything, trying to bring that all together. Like for me, if I ever do cook for Laura, I tend to pick something that is like a one pan type dish. Like you just end up throwing it all together, and it'll be like not that I've done this, but like a jambalaya or something like that, where it all ends up in the same pot, and I've just got one thing to worry about right at the very end.
Yeah, I'm like that.
I always say if you can master a roast dinner for about 4 or 5 people, then you can pretty much cook anything.
I just couldn't. I couldn't even. I would hate it. It would be the worst day of my life.
Wow.
And I've had some
great FRUK show segment that would be.
What, seeing the worst day of my life? Thank you.
A time lapse.
Yeah.
Let's beat that record of time spent in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Watch man go into. Right.
You're listening to FRUK Unwrapped. Please support us on Patreon so we can continue to make amazing content, including a recent video where we reviewed a £6 tub of ice cream. £6 Has he lost the plot? And our recent £30 room service breakfast. This guy's a fucking idiot.
That's enough about me. I don't cook. I can't cook. I'm not going to be contributing anything to this section other than moving things along. So, Rich, Toni, Michael, Stuart, any of you, when did you start cooking?
I started learning to cook when I was mainly cooking for myself anyway. When I lived with my dad's and my sister, we'd all cook for each other, all cook for ourselves separately. But I was always like you, Nate. I'd come home and have like an egg on toast and stuff.
Ostrich egg.
Yeah. A loaf of bread.
Yeah.
And yeah, so my stepdad started teaching me some cooking stuff, just to kind of give me like the basics and blah, blah, blah. But then when I moved out with friends and stuff, that's when I started cooking properly. We were actually then cooking dinner for like our house family every night. So that's when I actually started like doing like, proper cooking, like, chicken with stuff and doing like proper food, I think. So in fact, my mum said it was funny, like when I moved out, she said, you're eating better than ever, but you're eating more than I was before. So I'm having like bigger meals. I was like then putting on weight, but I was actually eating better than I was before, kind of thing. And then so then I was actually cooking quite a bit, and then moved in with Rich, and I think it was like day 3 or something of living together, and Rich was looking for a cookbook, like, what should I cook tomorrow? And I thought, well, I can cook if you want. And he was like, no, I'll just cook forever. And I'm very rarely allowed to cook for the 2 of us now. So
I take it from that, Rich. Do you like cooking then? Obviously being a baker.
Yeah, I'd say I do say I enjoy it. I only started really cooking learning to cook at the age of like 20, 21. From a guy that I knew in uni who was a really good cook. Used to go around his for dinner, and obviously loved what he made, and basically got him to just teach me a few of the dishes. And then from there, worked in a fine dining restaurant. Obviously learned a lot through that. Learned that I never, ever want to cook in a restaurant ever again. And then, went to cooking school. And then,
Of course.
Picked up a couple of little things from there, didn't you?
Yeah.
How was that?
Expensive. Yeah, that was good though. It was definitely a learning curve. Again, I think the majority of the people in the school wanted to work hadn't necessarily worked in restaurants before going to the school, whereas I had worked in a restaurant before going to the school. I just wanted to refine my skills a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So the majority of them wanted to, end up in a Michelin star kitchen afterwards, which I definitely didn't want to do because obviously the hours are ridiculous for the low pay.
Yeah.
So that's obviously where Cooking Meal started, because obviously, just refined my skills. Set me up for life, really, of being able to kind of pretty much cook anything I want at home if I just follow a recipe. And then, that's where it kind of went from there.
Good stuff. MJ, Stuart, you got anything to add?
I started experimenting with cooking when I was a teenager, just making random stuff. But I wouldn't consider that I ever learned to cook. I think I had the confidence to try things, but and then obviously going away to uni, if you don't cook, you're a bit screwed. But it's I would say that it's not maybe until the last 10 years or so that I've got better with cooking. I've never been a terrible cook. I've always had a rough idea, but I have always just made stuff up just by throwing things together. Concocting, I call it. But I think I've got better recently.
Did you guys have a realization? Because I definitely had a realization again at the age of 21, 22, when I thought, oh, actually following a recipe isn't actually that hard.
Yeah.
When you look in a recipe book, and before I learned to cook, I always looked in a recipe book and I was like, oh, I can't do that. But then really, it really isn't that hard.
No.
And then.
I'm still at that stage where I look in a recipe book, and if there's if the list of ingredients is too long, I'm like, nope. Whereas the Jamie Oliver 5 ingredients book was a freaking game changer.
Yeah, true. The only reason it puts me off long ingredients is just because I can't be asked to pay for it all. Just because if I have nothing in the house, I'm not going to buy it all just for one dish.
Yeah.
Especially if you're buying something that you can only buy in bulk.
Exactly.
And then
The only dish I'll actively go out and buy a huge list of ingredients for is lasagna.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's fucking lasagna.
There is a dish that has. There is a dish in this recipe book I've got in the kitchen that has. It asks for 150,000 kilos of artichokes. Tesco
Wrong
quite short of them at the moment.
Wrong moment to take a drink of water there.
Yeah. Lovely. MJ, you are a famed cooker. One of the most famous ones.
I am one of the most famous ones. Yeah.
Yeah. When did you start cooking?
So I started cooking when Claire and I moved out of Claire's parents' house. I was always very interested. Sorry, Stuart is changing his background. He's just changed his background to a very zoomed-in image of me, which delights me as a narcissist. I was always extremely interested in cooking. From a fairly young, from around the time that Delia, I wonder if it is Delia Smith's fault. When the Delia Smith show How to Cook started airing, I think it was around 2001-ish, probably 2000.
Where are you?
Where was I?
Yeah.
Specifically, I was at my house in my front room at Great Hivings in Chesham.
I got the reference, Nathan.
Thank you.
I got the reference, but I chose to answer it seriously as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is wicked. I absolutely loved watching Gary Rhodes as well. He was a big one. Rest in peace. And
oh fuck yeah!
Incredibly dead. Why couldn't it have been Anthony Worrell Thompson? We're all wondering.
Michael.
No, I'm kidding. He is probably as nice, maybe. If he's any different to his TV shows, then maybe he's as nice. No, he seems like a fine guy. So I was always buzzing and itching to get into cooking, and then when we moved out, It just hammered it hard. All the previous learning came crashing down, and I realised I was awful, and experience is required.
How much of this? Just coming back to, I think it was Rich said this about following recipe books is incredibly easy or something like that. How much is confidence a part of all this? Because I think that's what my problem is. That I just
time.
Yeah, definitely. That's what holds me back, I think, from a lot of it.
Yeah, I think that's my problem.
Knowledge is the main thing, because you can read any recipe, but if you don't know the underlying science between different steps, so a recipe may ask you to add baking soda or whatever. If you don't know what that does, and the recipe doesn't explain what that does, then you won't know what effect mucking up that stage will do. To that extent, you may different things that you learn about cooking will fill in different gaps. So browning meat, like the science behind that. So the most recent thing I've learned, that if you add MSG to food products just before you fry them or whilst you're frying them, they will brown quicker. That is one more trick to my arsenal that I've learned in the last 48 hours. And it's incremental gains like that. All these little nuggets of knowledge, that is what makes you a better cook.
Did you know also, if you add salt to a boiling pot, or not a boiling pot, but if you add salt to a pot of water, it will boil quicker, or come up to boil quicker?
Oh, that is fascinating, because I had thought the opposite was true. I'd obviously believe you as a trained chef. But yeah,
I was going to say as well what you said about baking soda. I suppose it comes down to the line between cooking and baking as well. If I'm if I'm baking a recipe, I'll follow it to the T. Whereas, so for instance, because I know how to make risotto, if say for instance I always make a chicken risotto. If someone says to me I'll make a vegetable risotto, I won't need to follow a cookbook, because obviously it's just the same. Whereas if someone tells me to make Victoria sponge, I know how to make that, but if someone tells me to make a chocolate cake, I can't just, it's not the same, because obviously, like MJ said, baking is more of a science, and that is, you have to follow it to the T.
Fair. What's your, do you have any favourite styles of cooking in terms of like any particular types of cuisine, or any particular ingredients or dishes? Styles of dishes. Back to you, Rich and Toni.
I'd say what we cook. Well, probably Italian, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say pasta dishes for me.
Yeah.
Just so because I don't cook as much. I'm just not allowed in the kitchen as often. But because I'm not cooking as much, for me, pasta for me is just easy, versatile, quick, and I can just sort of like mix and match stuff. So I can concoct, as Stuart would say. So I can just be like, chuck a few things in. No, it's pretty much going to taste good, and it's just easy.
Yeah, classic British as well. We do quite a lot,
and tacos.
Mexican, British, and Italian. I'd say was what we.
What would you classify as classic British?
Not necessarily in the summer, but in the winter definitely, like a casserole or like a roast dinner, sausage and mash. What else? Same. I do a. It's not really British, because I do probably my go-to dish to do, which Tony's favourite is. Sorry,
that's Tony's favourite. Is it? Carry on.
Sorry, just for everyone. MJ's now changed his background to a picture of him and Claire. I think.
I was going to say him and Claire.
With a very seductive pose.
Prove it.
My go-to is a broccoli, bacon, chili, garlic pasta dish, and that is my number one go-to favourite dish to cook.
Sounds good.
Stuart, MJ?
I like cooking. I like cooking all kinds of cuisines. I like cooking things that are vaguely Japanesey, vaguely Asian. Similarly Mexican stuff, but I think rather than particular cuisines, the thing that I enjoy cooking more than anything is vegetarian and vegan stuff. I think that cooking meat is, you're just cooking it, aren't you? Whereas I think there's a real satisfaction when you cook something vegetarian or even more so vegan that's just really, really tasty. It's going to be a little bit healthier and a little bit more a little bit less death involved, you know.
Yeah.
How's that soapbox that you're stood on?
Yeah. Do you know what? No, I've been eating meat. I've been. To be fair, I've eaten quite a lot of meat recently. I've kind of fallen off the flexitarian thing a little bit. I ate some bacon yesterday. That was exciting.
That is the one. That is the one benefit of being a flexitarian. Of
course it is.
Isn't it?
You want to calm yourself down with some Walker's Ready Salted Crisps?
Oh, I know. I might need to. I had some chicken on Sunday. I had a steak on Saturday. So I reckon I've eaten meat. I've eaten meat every day for the last 3 days. I don't think I ate any meat today, but I have been eating more meat.
What does Gemma have when you cook meat for yourself?
If I'm eating meat, it will usually be. So, for example, last night the meal I cooked was vegetarian schnitzel, which are just a frozen schnitzel product. Really, really good, actually. Fries, freezer aisle at Sainsbury's, really nice. And then I did them with some mange too, and I did kind of sautéed potatoes. So I sliced and parboiled my new potatoes, and I fried off some onions, and I did Gemma's just in the onions with some butter, and then I did bacon, onions, and potatoes for me and Theo with it. So nice. That was just the addition of some bacon for flavour. When I had chicken on Sunday, Gemma just had Quorn sausages. I was making like jerk chicken, so I just jerked some Quorn sausages. That's
Haven't we all, sunshine?
And the same with the steak. You know, if I'm eating a steak, Gemma will have a Quorn steak, or they do the Vivera plant steaks that they do at Sainsbury's are really good as well.
I've seen those, yeah. We actually bought some Quorn chicken pieces the other day because our neighbours had something like pasta bake that they did. It was so good.
It was so succulent.
Yeah.
I had Quorn pieces for my tea tonight. I'm so used to eating vegetarian things that it's not even a big deal. Like,
yeah,
it's been such a big part of my diet now for like 12, 13 years or however long I've been with Gemma, that it's not even an issue. I probably won't eat any meat again for a bit.
Sorry.
Go on, what did you say, Tony?
No, I was just going to say I love all the branding of a lot of the shops now doing like, especially like vegan stuff, like no chicken nuggets, no beef burger and stuff like that. Like and jackfruit. I remember you guys talking about jackfruit, so I tried that in a burrito for the first time. I think it was Nate that had been talking about it.
Yeah, what's the place called?
Chipotle. No, not Chipotle. Tortilla.
Yeah, Tortilla. That's it.
Yeah, I think it was Nate that had been talking about jackfruit, so I tried it, and it was just like, oh, this is exactly the same as pulled pork. So why wouldn't I get this in? So. Yeah. Or the next time I went to get jackfruit again. They're like, oh, we run out. And they sort of said it really apologetically, so they probably assumed I was vegetarian or vegan. I was like, oh no, it's fine. Don't worry, I can eat meat. I'll just have something else. It's fine. So, but yeah, no, I was really impressed.
Stuart, coming back to the beginning of your little bit there, you said that you cook anything sort of Japanesey. Do you find that easy peasy?
Brilliant. Well done.
MJ, sorry, I've been literally waiting 10 minutes to drop that, and none of you would shut up, so it's worth it, mate. I've enjoyed it. I've had a good time. That's all I needed to know. MJ.
Japanesey does it, mate.
Correct. Yeah, what do you like cooking? I know you love doing like what's it called, a British Indian curry.
Yeah, BIR. British Indian restaurant style curry. Yeah, I love that. That is a style of cooking which is basically the same kind of style that they do in the typical sort of Bangladeshi Indian restaurants. Bangladeshi / Indian restaurants. So yeah, that's good. I suppose I like doing a good mix. So I like that.
You do. Renowned for loving a good mix.
Probably primarily British, I think.
Indian and British.
Correct. Bit of Italian. Bit of Middle Eastern, I suppose, but nothing too serious in there. Just the spices and grilling and all that. I think roast is the thing that I'm most accomplished at.
Can I just ask? Do you think American is a style?
Oh yeah, I suppose American's up there as well. Actually, yeah. Burger. Actually, no, yeah, 100% American because my burgers are
like
phenomenal.
Slow cooks, like pulled pork or something.
You made sloppy joes once, didn't you?
Did I?
I'm sure you did.
Was that in the kitchen or?
Oh, Michael.
I don't know. I think that's just one of your exes called Sloppy Joe. No, I said recently I don't know what a Sloppy Joe is. I've never made Sloppy Joes. This is a good segment. I don't know.
Like chili in a burger or something.
Yeah, it's a beef mince based slurry. I think it's got tomato ketchup and maybe barbecue sauce.
Slurry, that's
Not quite. I think it's a little bit more sort of. I don't like to use this word, but scum common.
No,
it's a
essentially
bit more common.
Slice inside a.
No, it's literally slurry, like beef mince in sauce on bread. I think green peppers, barbecue sauce, tomato ketchup, maybe.
Maybe you thought about making them.
Yeah.
They just sound too messy for me. I'm not very good at eating.
Yeah.
I'm getting messy when I'm eating. Like.
Correct.
So yeah.
I'm way too messy.
I like them, but I don't like getting messy.
I have got into making a fucking amazing burger recently. The Waitrose do the GBK burgers. And
correct.
They're
really good.
Oh, there you go.
Sloppy Joe.
Sloppy Joe.
Yeah, it's one of those things that looks nice in a picture, but if you pick it up, you're just going to get so...
Yeah, imagine trying to eat that whilst standing up. Like getting one of those in like a fun fair or something. Like
awful.
I mean, they do them in fun fairs though.
I don't think they do that.
They don't do them in fucking Selfridges, do they?
I'm just thinking, imagine trying to eat that on like a first date.
So just to clarify, there's two places you can buy food: Selfridges and fun fairs. No in between.
Which isn't at the fun fair? They're all closed at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, we must do the food shop later. Where are we going to go? Selfridges or fun fair?
Rich keeps getting pulled over on the M1 through the central travel for his weekly shop.
I'm going Selfridges. All right, on you go.
You've just passed like several supermarkets. Nope, it's Selfridges or the fun fair.
Yeah. Killer roasts, killer BIR. Yeah.
Yeah, I do make the best roast dinner, to be fair.
Oh, interesting.
That's with your gravy.
Yeah.
Stuart, do you make a good roast dinner?
Make an average roast dinner. I don't take that much pride in things. It's just a lot of admin in it. A roast dinner. I could do it.
It's easy though, man.
Timing.
It is a lot of work, to be fair. Like Christmas Day, I am in the kitchen from about
Christmas Day's horrendous.
9 a.m. till 3 p.m.
And there's so much cleaning to do afterwards that you're like, is it worth all that time?
Yes.
For the amount you're eating?
Yes, it is.
I, as someone who doesn't contribute to the cooking, I am just chief washer-upper. Like that is my job.
To be fair, that's
So
what Toni is in this
actually, Nate, on that point then, are there certain meals that you think, do you know what, I don't care about having this enough because although it's nice, the mess that's in the kitchen afterwards, because there's certain things where, I'll go in the kitchen afterwards, like, that was a really nice dinner, Rich. But actually, the amount of mess that's left over now.
No, because I actually find it quite relatively therapeutic and I take some pride in my washing up.
It's nice to be on your own, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Chuck on a podcast, stick on a candle, enjoy myself. Stick on a candle, brilliant. Not even light it, just stick it on, turn it on.
Hashtags, retweets, likes, comments, follows. This isn't any ordinary social media. This is Food Review UK social media. Come find us at facebook.com/Food Review UK, on Twitter at Food Review UK, and on Instagram at FRUKgram. Oh, and don't forget the main channel, Food Review UK on YouTube.
There's definitely been dishes where, like, Laura's made a dinner and I've not sort of paid any attention to her while she's in the kitchen, and then I've gone out there after. Exactly, yeah. And then I've gone out there afterwards, and there are so many dishes. I'm like, there's like 3 things on my plate. How have you used half the fucking kitchen?
Yeah.
I bet Laura bloody loves that.
Oh, she loves it, mate.
What I've taken from that is Laura's in the kitchen. I don't pay any attention to her. She cooks me a dinner, and then I complain about it.
If you're not the one that's cooked, you have no right to complain. But at the same time, you're like, well, one of my housemates was that. So 4 of us used to live together. We used to, like I said, we used to take it in turns. And then one of my housemates would always you know, he would cook on a Thursday because everyone else had cooked and it was his turn and he had to cook. And we were all just sitting around being like, well, none of us are cooking. So always begrudgingly. And the same thing with washing up. If he'd cooked, he'd go out to the kitchen. And we had quite a big kitchen. And there'd be like sauce on the complete opposite end to where he'd been cooking. I was like, I don't understand. Did you just pick stuff up and just fling it?
To be
fair, there's a difference between washing up after dinner and cleaning up after yourself as you go along.
Yes.
Yeah, because if I spill something on the side, there's no way that I'm not going to clean that up because that's just my OCD. You know, not even just being lazy. That's my OCD. Just
and if I'm cooking for someone, so when I cooked for my mum a few months ago now, whenever it was. So like Rich said, I was cleaning as I go, so I was very aware that, right, okay, we finished that because I was cooking with my sister, so it was like, right, you deal with that, let me just wash all this up quickly, because I like to make sure then that whoever's then washing up, they've got minimal stuff. I like it to be mainly that you're just washing up like your plate, knife and fork kind of thing, rather than still having crap loads of pots and pans. I try, same with what Rich said, I'm clean as I go as much as possible.
We used to get a massive bollocking at Leith's when our sink was, because at Leith's when you're doing a cooking session, there's basically in the classroom is split into two, and in one half of the classroom there's 4 tables, and around one table you've got 4 people, and you're all cooking the same thing. And sometimes you'd be cooking like brownies, and like the cooking session would start with brownies and like maybe a joint of beef to cook for the session, and then all of a sudden halfway through the session they'll be like, oh, okay, we want you to make a cauliflower cheese in the next 20 minutes, and then basically it would just go to hell because the washing up would just be ridiculous. Because if you think there's 4 people on your tiny table all sharing a sink, there's no way that you're getting that washing up done. And we used to get an absolute bollocking if you didn't clean up after yourself. So I guess that's probably why it's drilled into me to do it at home. Because I do clean up after myself as I go along.
And you're better now as well, because I remember a couple of times I said, I was just like, oh my God, there's so much stuff out here. So I think you have become more aware of like using too many pots and pans. And stuff. But in the nicest way possible, no offence aimed or anything, but when I was spoken to people at work, it seemed to be like a male thing that you use lots of different...
Incredibly sexist.
But
not true.
Well, there you go.
If I can also be incredibly sexist, I would say that men are better cooks.
Yeah, well, quite possibly.
No, Rich, I think that's unfair. Look at all the famous chefs.
When I was talking to people at work, they were just like, oh yeah, my partner does that. Yeah, my husband does that. And I was like, oh, that's interesting.
I think that
I never really get that with that old kind of joke about the women belongs in the kitchen. It's just like, well, actually, like when you look at like, I just don't really get it at all, because obviously the majority of famous chefs are male.
Well, it's the whole housewife thing, isn't it? Like, you know, the man was at work, the woman was at home cooking, preparing dinner for the family.
Yeah, why do you fucking do it then? No.
And when you cook, when you cook a big meal, we don't end up eating till late.
Yeah. What was it you said recently? Toni recently made Toni's go-to meal, if we're not having the same dinner, is like tuna pasta with veg. And she usually does it in one pot, and it just happens in like 20 minutes or so. And I made something like an omelette that took me about an hour and a half.
Yeah. I was like, literally, I've got tuna. I've like boiled my pasta. I then add like leeks to the pan of pasta, then like spinach, and then when it like drained it all, I then add like tuna, cheese, garlic puree, blah blah. So so fairly a substantial meal, but quite easy to make, and I've also got it down to a T now. Rich out there prepping for God knows how long. In fact, I remember we went to cinema one night. So by the time I got home from work, we had like maybe 20 minutes, half an hour. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm not going to have a chance to have much for dinner. I'll just grab some soup. So there's me whipping up some soup in like 5 minutes. Oh, Rich is making his own hummus. Literally about to go to the cinema, and you're home-making hummus with the blender. Well, I've just got a can of fine soup.
Homemade hummus is best. So.
But so that's Rich's quick cooking. Oh, I just whip up some hummus when I could buy it. Whereas mine is just crack open some soup or soup and noodles.
What a wanker.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you guys ever think there's any difference? Like, because sometimes, like when you just can't be asked to cook and you just buy an instant meal. There are some things that I won't buy, like say for lasagna instant meals, with maybe the exception of the Charlie Bingham one, because that's really good. Majority of lasagna instant meals are dog shit, because when you compare it to the actual like homemade thing, I just think it's night and day.
Yeah, I used to have them quite a lot, but nah, never now.
It's just slop.
Yeah. There's no texture.
I mean, I'd extend that with lasagna as a whole. That I don't think I've had it anywhere that compares to a home cooked lasagna. Like even restaurant lasagnas, they're nice, they're fine, but I would never order one from a restaurant just because they just don't have the same.
Even restaurant lasagnas they're served in like a...
Yeah, because actually saying that, I would choose a ready meal lasagna over a restaurant lasagna. Because I just think the quality is not all that. And actually, when you have a restaurant lasagna, because they obviously cook it all in like one pan, so it's scalding anyway. So by the time you've like waited for it, you're like then starving hungry. You burn the roof of your mouth.
I always think a good lasagna, when you cut out the square, a good lasagna should hold its shape.
Yeah.
Lasagna second day, stunning.
Yeah.
Favourite, I'm going to move this on slightly. Favourite utensils / gadgets. Have you got any that you've bought, that you own, that you've had? Anything that you've found fun to use in the kitchen?
I'm going to be quite boring with this.
Okay, moving on.
I think I've got 4, which are probably the first thing I thought of was NutriBullet. Like I think
correct,
gadget, which I use quite a lot. Well, not recently, but I use NutriBullet, slow cooker, but then I put microplane and rubber spatula because I know they're not gadgets, but rubber spatula for me, not in the kitchen here, but at Cookie Mill is probably what I use the most. Just because a stainless steel core rubber spatula is my go-to thing to use.
I was only going to say 2 things, and you've named both of them correct.
What were you going to say? NutriBullet and what?
Silicon spatula, or rubber spatula.
Yeah, has to be metal core.
Correct.
Yeah, and like I said, microplane as well. That's my last one, just because that's always nice to have for garlic. Or I've actually started using frozen chili on a microplane.
Yeah,
it's nice to just grate that in for it, because it actually stops the seeds going in. So if you don't actually fancy a bit of heat, you can just get the nice flavour of the chili.
Stuart, have you got any?
Do you know what? Right, I like tongs were a revelation for me in my adult life. Tongs for things. There's nothing better than new non-stick things. Like a new non-stick frying pan is wonderful. Yeah. New non-stick baking trays or roasting tins. Oh, they're just so glorious. Like everything, just the cooking and the cleaning up afterwards, and it's just I love non-stick.
I don't know if it's classed as a gadget, but I discovered the silicone baking pans or baking tins that you had. And they were a game changer for me, just literally being able to like pop a cake out that easily. Yeah. So I then bought some for work because just suddenly like rather than using cake cases, just actually putting it straight in and just being that's actually the exact shape of my cake that should be. And spiralizer I use a fair bit as well.
Tell you something else I've got into recently is grease-proof paper. It used to be like exclusively for bakes that I used it. Now, pretty much instead of foil.
I use it on everything. We never have foil in this house. My brother uses foil all the time, and I gave him some dairy. My brother's got a dairy allergy, so I gave him some dairy-free cookie dough at Christmas. And he cooked dairy-free
baking paper.
He cooked it on foil, and it just sticks. It just sticks to the foil. Yeah. Right. Why wouldn't you just use baking paper? I would love to know how much baking paper I've used because obviously with Cookie Mill I used a fucking shit ton, miles of it I used.
Too much.
Yeah.
Actually, my spaghetti measurer is quite useful as well. Because the amount of times that I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm sure that's fine. Whereas now I measure it, I'm like, what? That's for one person.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah, I always feel like spaghetti measurer is reminding me how much of a piece of shit I am.
No, it's when you read
that's the amount for one person. I'll do 1.5 because that's how hungry I am.
Yeah.
When you read the pasta bake jar instructions, 200 grams. Fuck off.
We did this recently with cereal. We've just started trying to eat healthily again, like 30 grams cereal.
Yeah, 30 grams. No.
2 spoons.
Oh, I'm sorry. So 3 pieces of shredded wheat bite size.
Yeah. You genuinely need triple.
Yeah.
Yeah, cereal's one of those things. A lot of cereals feel like they're healthy, but actually they're not.
I just rather completely not have. I would rather have no cereal than a tiny amount of cereal.
Well, yeah, with that, I did just double it and just added it all on to what I was having, so I did incorporate it properly. But yeah, when I'm having cereal, I try and just have shredded wheat bite size because it is just wheat, or like porridge and overnight oats and stuff like that. But there are certain times we will have like what I describe as like a kid cereal, as a bit of like I find that kind of, if I'm having like something like Cocoa Pop, for example, which we rarely ever have, if we end up having something like that, I kind of find that's more of like an evening cereal, if that makes sense. Like I wouldn't have that for breakfast.
Dessert.
Yeah. Evening cereal.
No, but do you know what I mean? Like more like a fun snack than an actual
we're a household of culture here.
Yeah.
Listen,
I can't remember the last time I had something like that. But if I was randomly in the cereal aisle and was like, "Oh, let's try that," that sounds a bit wacky, kind of thing. Yeah, it wouldn't be. I wouldn't.
That's just a glimpse of some of the fun we had.
Tony, tonight we'll be having a tasting menu.
Is what I'm trying to say. Knob
Dairy triangles followed by a bowl of Cocoa Pops.
I need the best from Selfridges.
Yeah. Good pants.
Right, we're on the way down. Least favourite thing about cooking slash any mishaps that you've had, any noticeable cooking mishaps that you can think of, if you burnt a house down or anything like that.
I did set fire to my arm once. But luckily it was a sleeve, so it wasn't too awful. Actually, saying that, I burnt my hand really badly at work years ago. We had one of those ring hobs where like you actually got like the individual rings. Ooh. And it obviously been left on since lunchtime, since the kids had their lunch, and I'd gone out in the afternoon to make their snack. And I was like, why is it really hot? I don't even know why I did it. There is no reason to it. But I was just kind of like, I think I was just not expecting them to be on, so I just touched them, and it was like, oh no, and then my whole hand just got completely stuck, and I had to sit in circles of rings for about a week.
God.
And so everyone had a lot of fun taking the piss out of me at work, just being like, if you want to check the hob, you can just see if there's a light on. One's been turned. So
grim.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I not usually mishaps at home unless I'm like trying a new baking recipe or cookie recipe and it goes wrong. For instance, I don't know why, just because that's the whole story. It brings me back to baking. That like even if you follow a baking recipe to the T, it can still go wrong, and that's when it becomes annoying because you don't know why it's gone wrong. No, mishaps probably when I worked in the kitchen because it was fine dining. The presentation always had to be immaculate. So when I'm doing like starters and stuff, and like say for instance, if I had like sliced brioche underneath a broiler, while I was like prepping some kind of I was once doing a venison dish, which was like a venison like thinly sliced venison inside a tomato with like salad and like a tomato foam. It had like brioche on the side, and I always burnt the brioche. And the head chef just fucking went off on me like no tomorrow. And so that's the only one I can really think of.
What, swearing?
Yeah.
Really? Oh man, that is fucked.
Yeah, mate.
What did he do? Like, oh, you dickhead, you burnt the brioche.
And he was like, oh, for God's sake.
You silly son.
You silly boy. And then, kitchens. Have you guys ever worked in a kitchen?
Yeah, KFC.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of counts, I guess.
Oh, awful. If you burnt the brioche at KFC, you were in trouble.
Colonel Sanders would be round.
I did work at the Waitrose on the deli counter and the patisserie counter. So that's the closest I've got. And I did have to carve.
I worked
There
at
was
the
time.
bakery.
Have we spoke about the anecdote about Toni once working on the deli counter when she didn't know Parma ham was supposed to be thin?
Yeah.
So she was
Oh, yeah.
And my friend he used to work on the deli. He'd gone on a break and was like, "Oh, can you just like come back and cover me for 10 minutes, whatever, blah blah." And he came back just to see me, and as he described it as, "Here's your Parma hamburger."
Yeah, I've been there.
What to Waitrose?
Yeah, probably like least favorite thing for me, like we said, touched on before, like just time, mess, too much in a recipe book to just make me go, oh, I can't even be able to start this. So simplicity,
Is there a dish any of you can't cook? Like you've tried and just never, you just can't nail it?
So I mess rice up constantly. I've tried everything. I've tried the boiling it and then draining it. I've tried the absorption method.
Oh.
I'll often overcook it. I tried to make. I was making sushi rice a few weeks ago, and you have to do the absorption method with that. And I just made an absolute ball ache of it because I do stupid things like lift the lid up and then you let all the steam out, and then it doesn't cook properly. So I now 90% of the time use packet rice.
Correct.
So, literally, this week, I was watching. I am 100% buying a rice cooker because I've watched videos on how to cook rice. I've watched even Internet Shaquille's video, who I've recommended before. He did a video about it. The last time I did rice, I followed the packet instruction to the T. I measured everything and it still fucked it up. I'm buying a rice cooker, 100%. It's happening.
You wash it?
Always wash.
Yeah, always wash.
Yeah, always wash until it's crystal clear. That's how far I go. Yeah,
Each grain. I've got like a little polisher.
I don't always fuck it up, but
yeah,
I
I
would
think
say
also with
at
things
least
like
half
that,
the time.
What?
Things like that, like Stuart said, I think you kind of get to that stage where you think you've tried it, and you think, do you know what? Just get the packet stuff. It's not worth the hassle.
Yeah,
we're getting a rice cooker. Because they're cheap.
Are they cheap?
Yeah, 15 quid.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Because sometimes you've got to outweigh the hassle and everything. It's something that you wouldn't compromise on. Then something that you just like, oh, it's just not worth it.
You guys speaking about rice, because what we were saying, because we're looking at what calories we eat each day. Have you heard of bare naked noodles or bare naked rice?
No.
It's made out of cognac flour.
Cognac?
Konjac. Konjac. And instead of like the 250 gram, it's basically in the same size packet as a microwavable like Uncle Ben's rice.
Uh-huh.
But I think an Uncle Ben's rice, I looked at it the other day, was something like 300 calories for 250 grams. And this one is 30 calories for the same one, and it's the same texture.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
The noodles are good.
That is really, really interesting. I'm definitely going to look into that because rice is horrendously bad for you.
Yeah. In fact, let me grab the packet just so you can see what it looks like.
Where was that you found that?
It's just in Tesco in the pasta aisle, I think it is.
But is it bare naked ladies? That's what it's Google.
Yes, that's it.
Bare naked ladies.
Always must be served by bare naked ladies.
It doesn't have any cooking instructions, but it does suggest that
It says, I think you have to cook them last week.
Oh, it's 1 week last week.
Can't remember where it says it. Oh, you just drain the water, throw in a frying pan for 3 minutes.
Oh, that says, and then it says, you pick one up and pinch me, and then that's when you know it's all been done.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, Konjac. Konjac.
Never heard of it.
They'd be nice with some chickadee China Chinese chicken.
No, kitchen mishaps for me. Rice is a big one, so I literally decided a few days ago that I'm buying a rice cooker because fuck it, life's too short.
Wow, you should have done that early.
And
Can I just say, MJ, your beard looks so long at the moment because the shadow goes down. It looks so
Hang on,
weird.
let me sort this out.
What are you doing? What's going on? Oh, he's doing a... Oh, no.
Jesus. Like Jesus to a child. No, the thing that breaks my heart more than anything is when you cook something and you put all your hard work and effort in and it's shit.
Yes, I hate that. With new cookie recipes, I hate that. I'll come up with new cookie recipes and I'll be like, oh, this is obviously going to be amazing because all the flavours are there.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, why? Why hasn't this worked?
What hasn't worked? Give us an example of a cookie that hasn't worked that the public will never see.
Not necessarily like a flavour, but definitely a new size of cookie. I wanted to try, I tried essentially tripling the weight of them already because obviously they're quite heavy already. So yeah,
they are.
Not doing them deep dish, but essentially just turning them into a giant ball, cooking them at a high temperature for a short period of time. So the outside gets done while the inside is barely done.
Yeah.
And even cooking them from frozen, they just went flat instantly.
Oh really? Wow.
So I'm still working on it, but I think it comes down to using baking powder and baking soda, and also it comes down to when you make cookies, usually it's like a cake. You cream together the butter and the sugar, then you add the eggs, then the dry ingredients. But to make them this way, you have to put the butter in with the sugar, then add the flour, then add the chocolate chunks, and then add the eggs finally. So it's like a really dry mixture, but then it comes out it's more sturdy. I don't know why adding them in a different order makes a difference, but
wow,
it does.
Science.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. I have one more question before we move on to social media, and it's a not a surprise question. It's a last minute question. I thought we've obviously been talking a lot about home cooking. Obviously, a lot of people will be home cooking given the lockdown situation. At some point in the future, hopefully, we will all be allowed out and we will all be allowed to get back to normality. When you want to break from home cooking, what is the one restaurant you're looking forward to going back to?
Prezzo for me. I fucking love Prezzo.
You love Prezzo?
Yeah.
God, I cannot fucking wait to take you to La Salute. Oh, because I'm not shitting on Prezzo, by the way. I fucking love Prezzo. That's why I love La Salute so much, because they're reasonably similar to that.
I love ZZ's. I love Prezzo so much that I want to take you to a different restaurant.
Probably Wagamama for me.
Oh yeah, Wagamama.
But to be fair, I also love Prezzo.
Wagamamas.
Wagamamas.
No, Wagamama's
God.
I haven't heard of that one. No. What's that one?
Correct.
What's the one you guys just said?
Wagamamas is.
Oh, sorry, Blazer's Pizza.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Oh, I need to. Can you put that video online somewhere? That's probably one of my proudest creations today. More than the cookie mill.
more than the entire business of the cookie mill.
Stuart.
A place called Bundobust. It's vegetarian, Indian, street foodie and craft beer place. It's top. There's one in Manchester, there's two in Manchester. There's one in Leeds, one in Liverpool. Food is lovely and the beer is good. Yeah.
Did you go to Liverpool much? Out of interest?
No. We went. Good. Do you know what? As much as it pains me to admit it, Liverpool's a really, really lovely city. It's a really lovely city centre.
All right, calm down.
I really want to go for the Beatles week they do. Like with they do like a what?
Every week's Beatles week in Liverpool, mate. Bloody like.
What's the place called? The Cavern
Club. Cavern Club.
Yeah, I'm sure they do a thing each year, once a year, where they get like 50 tribute acts or something to come. What is going on in MJ's house?
MJ, what one restaurant are you looking forward to getting out to? La Salute or?
Yeah, so I actually don't go to restaurants like crazy often. So it is probably Wagamama is probably the place we go to most frequently, which is probably only once every couple months. But then obviously in between that is things like La Salute and Yeah, we really don't eat out that
Name
often,
one other that Tony and I haven't said.
Oh, God, sorry. TGI Friday, by far. I just realised.
Oh,
No, TGI Friday.
Oh,
That's actually the place that we go most often.
You got the takeaway, didn't you?
I did, yeah. Click and collect.
Oh.
It was very nice. It was very good, actually, considering it's a click and collect service and whatnot.
Did you eat it in the car?
We did, yeah, because we're like 20-25 minutes away from home, and we were just worried by the time we got home it would be a bit cold and a bit naff.
Yeah.
And bearing in mind they've jacked their prices up a little bit as well. I don't know if that's not by a lot, but like £1 or £2 per dish. So obviously
it was already.
Yeah, so across like 4 people, it obviously just starts adding up a little bit. Bearing in mind we all had one course each. For 3 adults and 1 child, it came to over 50 quid. Yeah, so we just we thought we'd rather try and get it eaten while it's still nice and warm.
Correct. What did you go
for? We all went for sesame chicken strips.
Correct.
Nice. Mozzie dippers?
No Mozzie dippers. No onion rings.
Okay, fair.
Which were decent. But yeah, no, that was good. So anybody listening now, you can go and visit. You can do click and collect with TGI Fridays.
Sorry. So I need to clarify. Actually, so yeah, we do go to Wagamama and we do go to La Salute, but actually, TGI Fridays and Five Guys are by far the places that we go to most often because we usually go shopping to MK usually once a month ish, and we always go to Five Guys or TGI. So them actually, but actually I want to give a special shout out because Rebeno's around the corner from us is not been open and I miss the fuck out of them.
Is that fully closed now? Because you were getting that as a takeaway, weren't you?
No, they've been during lockdown. They've been closed.
Oh, where were you getting takeaway from? I thought you were getting takeaway from Rebeno. Doesn't matter. We'll talk about it another time. Doesn't matter. They're closed.
I just want to say sticks and sushi as well. That's for me.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going.
You haven't been. If any of the listeners like sushi / sticks of meat on kebabs, go to Sticks and Sushi.
Wow,
lovely. I'm looking forward to going to a place called Golden Curry in Eton, which is obviously an Indian restaurant. Friend of ours owns it. And
wow, you're friends now.
You went to Eton.
Eton, yeah. I know we're Slough, but we are close to Eton and Windsor, so we'll cling on to that. So it's a very lovely restaurant. They often get celebrities dining in there.
Have you eaten there before?
I have eaten there. And also Flaming Cow, which is a burger restaurant, which is lovely.
Also in Eton.
Also in Eton.
Yeah,
I've eaten in Eton.
Local knowledge there.
Correct. Well done. Flaming Cow is excellent. Right. Michael.
Yes.
Michael.
Yes.
Michael.
Yes, Queen.
Suck me, please.
Suck man. It's time for questions that you posted on all the platforms that you utilize to provoke our replies. Although increasingly I'll posting the forms of statements that require no response, as opposed to the questions we requested in our initial posts on the aforementioned Suck Man.
Social media is a section of the show where we read out your questions and comments that you leave us when we post the thumbnail on social media. This week, or this fortnight, all of the questions have come exclusively from Instagram because no one left a comment on Facebook. Why is there a car driving slowly past my house? That is incredibly suspicious, and I'm very scared, but that's fine.
Your Lego window curtain open?
Yes, it is always open.
Well, there you go.
Always open for visitors. The first question and comment comes from Shelby.
Shelbers? Mayors? No.
Mail.
Oh, no.
I'm not sure if I'm reading this in the right order because... it is the top one, so... Okay, weird. Starts with an and. Starts with an and, so... sorry, I just need to scratch my nose. I just didn't want my podcast colleagues to visually see that occur. And which form of potatoes is your favourite to make? Roast.
Should we ask our first question first, if we can find it?
Did you just end? Did that sentence end with just the word roast?
No, that
Or is that MJ's answer?
Oh right, sorry. Okay.
Have-
You said it so quick. Like, which are your favourite kind of potatoes to cook? Roast.
Yeah. Which form of potatoes is your favourite to make?
Dauphinoise.
I was going to say my
Oh.
favourite that Rich makes is Dauphinoise. But I do call Rich the potato king because he does nail all potatoes.
Because I have an outfit.
But yeah, potato Dauphinoise he made not long after we got together. And yeah, I could literally just eat that in a side dish on its own with a spoon.
Oh, Dauphinoise, absolutely. I have regularly just when you warm it up as well, and
Yeah.
the cream fucking just like
Oh,
melts.
always
Yeah,
warm
why?
it up, mate. Never eat it cold.
Oh, yeah, Dauphinoise is mind-blowingly good. Like
MJ's just eating raw potatoes with cream.
that is
And
Dauphinoise.
onion.
my controversial opinion is that boulanger is better than Dauphinoise.
No, dickhead.
What's boulanger?
It's just with the onions and lots of pepper and stock rather than
Stock
cream.
instead of cream. Yeah,
Oh,
stock
okay.
instead of cream.
Yeah.
Obviously, much worse. Time.
Yeah, so you lost me at without cream.
Yeah.
It's far worse.
Boulangerie.
Yeah, potatoes lingerie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Gemma's
Rough
outfit.
One out. Maddie Madworld says MJ
Maddis.
Roasties, good knowledge.
Welders.
Shelvers is put a heart emoji.
Shobbers. Hearters.
That bloody Joe Carter.
Joers.
Thaters.
Is there any dish that you can master at home better than a takeaway or restaurant? Oh, there
Yeah.
is.
On
Yeah,
toast.
bear things.
Yeah, but burgers for one. I think if you really put some time and effort into a burger, you know what? It was on the FRUK group recently. Aldi chicken thigh burgers. I swear, just get one of those. Get a
They're
nice
incredible.
brioche bun, sliced cheese. It's incredible.
Yeah, they are incredible. I was singing their praises. They completely sold out. Basically, it's probably because of us. We posted about them and they sold out everywhere.
Obviously, you're not cooking that really from scratch. But yeah, if you fancy a burger at home, the chicken burger at home, just get the flaming hot chicken thigh burger.
But yeah, roast potatoes. We've been out and had like a roast around.
Oh, sorry.
What?
One question behind.
Your question behind.
No, I'm talking about stuff that you do better.
Oh, sorry. I think it was takeaways that you
wait-
do better.
If you wait for me to finish, I thought it was
I just want to say I knew what you were saying, but I was just
you.
laughing
So
that
yeah,
you
we've
could have
been
also
to
been
restaurants
question
having
behind.
like roast potatoes or roast or whatever, and as it's come out, we've just looked at the potato and been like, yeah, we already know these aren't as good as Rich's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
actually complimenting you if you hadn't rudely interrupted and taken the mick out of me.
Yeah.
Roast dinners in general, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. I've never found a restaurant beans on toast that's as good as mine at home. So
I have to say,
Not even Little Chef.
Hmm?
Sorry. Not even Little Chef.
no, not even Little Chef beans on toast. They are the best. I mean, most
Yeah.
people will agree that they do the best beans on toast. But,
Give me that Olympic breakfast, mate.
Damn
but sometimes the toast is a bit limp, mate. So what are you gonna do?
so I would say that most
The
of the
gin's
stuff,
kicked in.
most of the stuff that I cook at home and that I'm very proud of, I have tweaked in some way, or there's been a lot of learning and practice that's gone into it, and that's how it's ended up at being at a brilliant level. If it is so, by the way, I'm sounding quite arrogant when I come across it as this. There isn't much that I cook that I'm so confident and so happy with that I'm like, yes, this is incredible. Like I'm still learning almost everything. So there's just a few dishes that I know I'm incredible at, but most of things I'm learning still, and most things I'm just fine at. However, I can't take any credit for this thing, because this thing, when I cook it, is completely unchanged from the recipe, and it is definitely better than ones in restaurants, and that is chicken tikka. The Misty Ricardo's chicken tikka recipe is stronger in flavour and nicer than chicken tikka from. I
Is
would
that
say
the one you cooked for us?
The chicken tikka was in the dish, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So that's better.
So I will say
You've been to restaurants, right?
the curry itself that I cooked you, definitely not. But
I
the
was
chicken tikka that it used is better than the chicken tikka that I've had from restaurants. Not all restaurants, but many. But yeah, realistically, roasts I think is the bottom line for that one. Bong lungs.
Bongers.
Jason!
Mum cooks all my dinners. I order the takeaway. Bloody fair.
Oh,
Good lad.
good.
Bong lungs.
Bongers.
Brownies, to be fair.
Bongers. You make some
Yeah.
greeting.
First time off to a cash and carry today. Excited, yeah, kinda, and get big drinks.
Cool.
Yep. I wonder which cash and carry. I wonder why. Weird time to go to. Weird time to start going to cash and carries, isn't it?
Must be out of marijuana.
What's obviously the big one is Costco. What's the other one that does it? Macros.
Macro.
Yeah.
Does anyone go to Macros? Anyone?
I go to Macro quite a lot.
Do you? Whereabouts? Where's your? I don't even know
near where my parents live, but the closest one to us is either Luton or Reading. But I go up here. I mainly go to Booker. But if I'm at my parents for the weekend, I'll nip to Macro to get a few supplies for cooking there.
Yeah, man. I remember going to Macros as a kid with my parents for some weird reason, but I haven't seen one around for ages. Carry on. This is really uninteresting. You don't care about this.
Oh, it's good. Bong lungs.
Bongers.
Kingers.
Shout out to the cookie fam smoking big boxes of the cheddar pissed, brackets real strain name, London pound cake cross lemonade and gelato.
Yep.
Correct.
Sure. Shelby.
Shelbers.
Mayors.
Favorite comfort mood. Favorite comfort food meal to make. This might have been her original comment, I suspect.
That goes for us.
Roast.
Or my pasta dish, because it's just easy and I've tweaked it so much that it's comfort food now to me.
I don't know.
Oh, chili, I suppose, actually. I make good chili.
Yeah, and your stew and dumplings as like winter comfort food.
Have we done a pasta episode?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Slash Italian. Don't mock me, Stuart Bullock. Don't you dare.
I don't think we have we?
Rich, what's your beef stew tactic? Because I can never quite get enough flavour into them.
Into the what kind of flavour are you looking for?
Just normal beef stew, like savoury, meaty.
Put more beef in it.
Are you using stock?
Yeah.
Are you browning the meat? I assume.
Yeah.
Are you slow cooking it?
I'm just shit at stews, aren't I?
How long are you slow cooking it for?
I put it in the slow cooker for between 8 and 10 hours.
Wow. I actually put a bit of Bisto in mine.
Bisto?
Yeah, not much. It just thickens it up nicely and just gives it a little bit of a ground flavour.
Nice. Yeah, nice. I'll try that.
I think Marmite in there.
What's your base veg?
Onion, carrot,
browning
sometimes
your
celery.
veg?
Only in the most interestingly, only the most recent time I did it. Actually, it was better, to be fair, but it still wasn't.
Thick chunks of carrot browning to get that flavour.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I'll do that next time.
Garlic
brown it.
puree.
No.
Yeah, garlic puree. Pretty much garlic and onion goes in all my dishes. To be fair.
Wow.
Even his cookies.
Yeah.
You were going to cook something for someone recently and they were like, oh, I'm not a big fan of garlic and onion. You're like, I don't know what I can make you then.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're no longer invited.
Yeah.
Recently, shit, what was I going to say? Yeah, they've never been bad by any means, but yeah, cool. I will try those next time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I do love that dish. Embarrassing. Maddie Madworld.
There she is. Madders.
Madison. Do we think she's Madison?
No, I'd imagine
Madison
not.
County.
Yeah.
I missed that. She said,
Madeline.
Madeline.
Yeah, she said, MJ's cooking.
Where is she, sorry?
Don't know where she is. Outside
No,
MJ. I think she was driving a cast home.
On that point, I will say, to be fair, I do only take photos of my nice meals. I do cook a lot of bad ones.
A lot.
Correct.
What's Claire's go-to meal if Claire's cooking?
She called Nate round.
Claire's signature dish is pasta with butter.
Oh, pretty good though. Pasta and butter is a pretty good combo, I must say.
I
mean, not for a dinner party or anything.
No. Yeah,
is she browning the pasta?
She does it precisely zero cooking. She'll only cook when I'm out and she's needing to cook for herself, and it should be that way because she doesn't quite have the skill level, and she wouldn't mind me saying that. She's not interested in learning, and that's fine by me. I enjoy cooking and don't like cleaning, so that's the deal we have.
I'll bother.
Correct. Amelia Hills.
Hillsers.
Hope you are all safe and well. Thank you.
Correct.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Hope
And
are
you.
too.
And you, Amelia.
Do you have any recipes for meals that taste great and are easy to make?
See above.
Also-
Beans on toast.
True.
Nathan's own beans on toast.
Yeah, better than restaurant quality.
Better than Little Chef.
It's all in the butter. Carry on.
Also, what's your favourite home cooked dessert? Mine is my mum's banana cake.
Don't make desserts.
Yeah, I don't really make desserts.
No.
Yeah.
Trifle, isn't it? Obviously.
Or your cherry pie.
Oh yeah, cherry pie I make sometimes.
You do a banging cherry pie.
Oh no, sorry, no. At Christmas I do a panettone chocolate orange, like bread and butter pudding.
Jamie Oliver one, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's the tits. Like a bitter marmalade and dark chocolate orange panettone
Nice.
pudding thing.
Oh, that does sound nice, to be fair.
Yeah. It is.
Trying to think of easy, great tasting meals.
I make a really, really good baked gnocchi that's dead easy. You literally soak the gnocchi for 2 minutes. You chuck the gnocchi, some chopped up peppers, some chopped up cherry tomatoes, chili flakes, salt, pepper, rosemary, and you bake it for like 45 minutes and then put some ricotta on it. Just a couple of dollops of ricotta on top. Serve it with that. It's well nice.
That sounds good.
It's so easy and really tasty.
We don't eat gnocchi enough, to be fair. Every time I have it, I think, oh yeah, this is banging, but we don't.
I find any sort of like just like pasta or gnocchi, like a carby base with veg and cheese, always just goes well, and it's just quick and easy.
Yeah. Correct.
Wish I liked gnocchi, but I don't.
I'd like to make some. I'd really like to give it a go.
Is this like when you said you didn't like risotto though, MJ, and it turned out you never tried it?
No, I have tried gnocchi. It's more just the texture and it's sort of too much. It's too much. Too bland.
Right.
Too
Do you
much.
remember when you said that though? You were coming around to mine for a dinner party, and I was giving you suggestions of what I'll do, and I was like, "Oh, risotto," and you're like, "I don't like risotto," so I ended up making you arancini, and you fucking loved it.
Oh, your arancini was fucking mind blowing.
You know what's in arancini?
It's just fry in it. Just fried.
Just fried breadcrumbs.
No, that's incredible. I was gonna say it's one of the best things that I've ever had made for me, but that does go for Laura's roast as well. Laura's roast is the only one that comes close to mine that I've had. I mean, I haven't.
You haven't had mine, mate. So
Correct.
I don't know why I'm proud. I didn't fucking make it.
Oh fuck! I wish I could think of what is easy to make. There must be something that is easy to make that is.
still desserts.
I will get on to desserts.
Just easy meals / desserts.
Yeah,
I will say
tacos for me is my go-to.
Oh yeah, tacos is good.
Yeah, the Oaxaca tacos kit is so good.
Oh, the blue one
Yeah.
used to be good until they changed it.
I can't remember what's the green one.
Have you had them recently?
No,
Because do you know they changed them?
I saw
Are
they
you-
changed the branding. I didn't know they changed the flavours and stuff.
Are you talking about the white packet with the stark, bright colours?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Oaxaca,
completely
yeah.
changed them. And I mean, they've changed the underlying. They've made them from one of the best kits you can buy to just complete garbage.
Really?
Not garbage, just average. I'm deadly serious.
Oh, to be fair, recently, we used to buy them all the time. That's why I said that they're good. But recently, I just buy like them separately now. Like Waitrose do a black pepper and coconut mini tortilla wraps, and they're amazing. And they do a really nice like lemon and chili rub thing that we use.
Oh, that sounds well nice. I did make French toast last week using Rachel's cooking recipe, and that was really good. I suppose that's quite easy. I can't really think, but otherwise, easy by far and away. Cheesecake is the best thing that I make. Yeah, dessert-wise. Maddie says, "Hiya, Amelia." Amelia says, "Hey, Maddie."
Cool.
Finn Rogers has said, "What's the best what's the best dish Claire makes?" And Claire replied, "Beans on toast."
Wow.
No, that's not what he said, is it? So.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's true. I think it would be. But actually, to be fair, I've never had Claire's.
Sounds like we have a beans on toast cook-off.
Hey. It's all about the amount of cheese you put on as well.
I'm not sure I've ever eaten Claire's cooking.
Ever?
Yeah, I'm
That's a FRUK segment, isn't it?
like excluding. She must have put chicken nuggets in, but even that I'm not certain. I'm not 100%.
Actually, saying that though, that's one thing. Rich will mock my cooking, but as soon as I make anything for myself and bring it over and start eating, it'll be like, "Oh, let's have a bit."
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm not that bad.
Ever eaten your cooking / something you've made me? Oh, actually, the first time I ever went round her house, I think she put pizza in the oven.
Gave you food poisoning.
Was that when you first ate pizza?
It was around the time that I didn't dig it. So yeah, it was like.
No, that's not what you told us before. You told us you hadn't had pizza until you met Claire.
I did dig the rest of the stuff I got that time.
Oh, MJ.
So I didn't.
Potato wedges?
In order to grow the Food Review UK podcast, we'd like to ask all our listeners and subscribers to drop us a review on their chosen podcast application. With your help, we could grow the podcast to such an extent that we had no need for the Food Review UK YouTube channel and its owner, Michael Jameson. There is a little favour that we'd like to ask of you. Just head on over to iTunes and leave us a positive review. 1,000 5-star reviews and MJ dies! Hurrah!
Amelia Hills.
Hillses.
Rich, I can't find any Airwaves gum in the shops. Do you have any recipes for savoury snacks I can make instead?
Is that a genuine one?
Very genuine.
That is top quality banter.
Well done.
Amazing.
Top shelf.
Top shelf.
Yeah, if you want some savoury stuff, just get some Maryland cookies.
I don't even know who was right or wrong.
Well, because we said Maryland is more savoury than Airwaves, which it obviously is.
It's not.
Jazz,
Because it has salt in it, correct.
yeah, which is factually
Means nothing.
Well, it's actually the definition of savoury.
Guy in a hot dog, fluid person in a hot dog suit said that your cookies are incredibly sweet, and they've got salt in them.
There we go.
Yeah, well, he's probably an expert on that, to be fair. Jasmine B.
Jasmines.
Live Jasmine. Oh well. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Oh well, weird after my comment on your hummus post. Think I'm psychic. Yeah, fair comment, to be fair. Finn Rogers didn't actually get a fair shot at this last go. Finn Rogers?
Finners.
Also, Stuart, what's your Untapped? Can I add you, mate?
If you just search for Stuart Bullock, you'll find me, yeah.
Decent. Liam T180.
180ers.
T Myal.
Runners.
So I did something clever there. I said Liam T180, then I said Mail, which is Liam T1 backwards. lads, girl.
Oh, excellent.
I used to be a lad, so.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, until she transitioned.
Great knowledge.
Yeah, in name alone, I should add for anyone new.
Yeah.
The Geordie Lion.
Jorders.
I'm alive. Just waiting for these. Hang on, let me just check and can read this out loud. I don't know what this means, but I guess I'll read it anyway. I'm alive. Just waiting for these Arabs to purchase my club. #cans MJ. Bongers has agreed to be our getaway driver. One love, Bong Lungs, my brother.
Yeah, it's a Newcastle United reference. Mike Ashley's rumoured to be selling the club to some confirmed murderers, but still probably better than Mike Ashley in it. So.
Oh, I don't really know what any of what you've just said is because I only follow the Premiership.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
That's it. That's the sock mad.
Well done. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, everyone, for your questions.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael. And thank you, Michael. And before we go,
Fred, but I don't
Michael.
have many thanks as I've been given.
No, thank you, Michael. Before we sign off, we're going to do one last quick segment for Toni. Toni, heaven and hell.
Heaven and hell, where the food you love goes straight to heaven. Well, it doesn't you're convincing, and all the people who are attending that your food should be ascending, and all goes well. And the inverse of all this applies to hell.
Heaven and hell. I don't know how the tune goes, I forget it. Toni.
Yeah.
We are constructing a food heaven and a food hell. Can you please give me a food or drink that you would like to go into heaven and a food or drink that you would like to go into hell, please?
Can I just say, I know it comes down to you guys, but do I get a say in what goes in hell and heaven? Is
Absolutely
out
not.
Okay,
not in the slightest.
Correct.
I mean, you can weigh in, but your vote does not count.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. Stern, but fair.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's unfair on all those people you didn't vote on, Rich.
Correct.
Wow.
Who put Sambuca in heaven? Was that a thing, or was that in hell?
That's in hell.
It's not.
Okay.
It's Sambuca's not on the list anywhere.
Oh,
Aniseed, yeah.
Oh, that was me.
Yeah, that went into hell.
Aniseed is vile. It is filthy.
I've warmed to it recently. You're lucky you got it in.
Well, it's in there forever.
Yeah.
If I know one thing about food heaven and food hell, it's forever.
Correct.
Tone.
I've got a few options, so I'm just wondering which one's more likely to make the cut. Are there many drinks in heaven or hell?
No, there are not.
I was thinking this earlier, actually. None, I don't think.
Okay, well, I'm going to go for my heaven. I'm going to go for tea.
Oh.
Oh, dear.
Stuart the Heartbreaker.
Oh, he's not alone.
It's horrible.
Oh no, it's
Horrible.
Oh yeah, that's
Has there ever been a triple denial
of all time.
Tea is absolute dog dirt, mate. Like, I can cope with, like, fruit teas and, like, herbal
Yeah, but
teas.
it's still tea.
When you say tea.
And also, fruit tea isn't tea. Fruit tea is just hot squash.
Right, so fruit tea's not tea then. So let's just talk about tea. Well done, Toni. You've just talked your way out of it.
Well, no. But what I mean is, if that's your level of tea, you're starting at like the.
No, I've been
Worst
served
level.
cups of tea. I've been served cups of tea. It's horrible. It tastes of weird perfume. It's just, tea's weird. Tea's not nice.
Do you know
Had
what?
a good cup of tea made for you though.
I imagine so. Like, I've got everyone in my family, everyone else are tea drinkers. My parents are tea drinkers. My wife is a tea drinker. My in-laws are tea drinkers.
Does your mum drink tea?
My mum does drink tea. Oh, how weird, mate! I love cup of tea. Would you like a cup of tea? I only drink coffee, hot drink wise, and I just don't like tea at all.
Wow.
Even Theo drinks tea.
Wow.
Going to deprive your son of a drink in heaven. That's nice.
Are you vetoing it, Stuart?
I mean, I'm assuming we all are, aren't we?
MJ?
So the last time
MJ
I
doesn't
had
drink hot
tea
drinks.
was correct. I nearly had a hot drink this morning, actually. I nearly had a hot drink.
Nearly.
You leave it out in the sun.
He left his Lucasade on the radio.
So I'm probably going to have a Horlicks tomorrow. I might even have a cup of tea tomorrow, and it will be my first cup of tea since October. And
Be
that
heavenly,
was
MJ.
Hey?
Be heavenly.
Oh. That was probably my first tea in over a year or years. I never have it. The problem is, I don't have anything against it, but unfortunately, it's not a heaven item for me.
Oh. Thing about tea that stops it going into heaven is it's just shit.
Oh, isn't it?
Yeah, I
It's so
suppose I'd say I'm not
Tea
even
is
against
that I've picked the 3 people I know that don't like it.
Oh, to be fair, I like it. To be fair, actually, I have nothing against it going into heaven, so I will allow it in. But I am knowing that it's not going to get in, because Nate, do you want to have your say? You've not really chucked up a little bit, but...
Oh, no, I think Stuart said it perfectly.
Wow.
It's shit.
That is quite bizarre, though, because you don't really find people that don't like it, do you?
Nate, do you drink hot drinks?
Yeah, I drink coffee. I love coffee.
Yeah.
I do. I love coffee, but I do absolutely bloody love a tea as well.
I have never liked tea. I just find it so weak and rubbish. It's just naff. I can't even tell you what it is. It's just meh.
I want to know from other people in the FRUK community what the feeling is on tea, because I feel like there must be a broader community that people...
Oh, I don't doubt it. Tea is
Claire loves tea.
hugely popular. Like, it's hugely popular.
That's it. You should go in heaven.
Oh, God, no.
Have a bad day, have a cup of tea.
We are.
Feeling a bit cold,
But you have
have a
to
cup of tea.
think the things that this is the heaven according to Stuart, Nate, and MJ.
Yes,
this isn't heaven according to Theo, Claire, and maybe does Laura like tea?
I think she does.
There you go. This isn't
I can't
heaven.
hear again. My
Oh, no,
headphones are playing up. So I can't hear anything.
She definitely does. I mean, we're talking about a food heaven that doesn't include lasagna because Stuart kicked it out.
Yeah.
Absolute idiot, man.
So tea,
stupid cretin.
That's more controversial than tea not going in.
Yeah, it's idiotic is what it is.
Also,
I forgot what I love again.
belly pork also didn't get into heaven.
Correct.
Belly pork is one of the greatest foods ever. Oh,
was that me that said that?
No, it was me that said belly pork.
Was it me that vetoed it?
Probably because you would.
If it's not cooked right though, then it's horrible.
Is the pronunciation of belly pork a north-south divide? Because we always just refer to it as pork belly.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, it is pork belly. Stuart's just special. It's not even a north-south.
Right, okay. I think hearing the word belly before any food just sounds really
weird as fuck. Belly
Maybe that's why I vetoed it.
So weird.
Oh no, that bloody Reebok or whatever advert that comes in word first. Belly's gonna get you. So I have an image of belly and then pork.
Belly pork's gonna get you.
Is that on our opening episode, Stuart? Would that have been?
It would have been when we did the full-on Heaven and Hell episode.
So that would have only been me or MJ that would have vetoed that.
Probably,
MJ,
yeah.
Would you have vetoed that?
I would have vetoed the fuck out of it.
Oh, there we go then. It wasn't me because I love pork belly, so I'd be surprised that I would.
Yeah.
If I did have a say, I would have vetoed it because it's when it's not cooked correctly and it's slimy, it's fucking rank.
Agreed. Yeah. It's not always perfect all the time, but when it is done right, it's fucking immense.
No.
But yeah, it sounds like MJ, so I'm not going to take the blame on that one.
Correct.
Right, so tea, you can get to fuck.
So rude. How rude.
what was your hell, Tony?
I mean, hell's obviously going to get vetoed anyway, so...
Notoriously tough to get into food hell.
You got 3 good ones, to be fair.
But, well, one of them I think would get vetoed. It's like a base ingredient.
Mm.
So I'm going to go for rocket.
I'd happily see that in hell, to be honest.
Yeah, I just feel like there are so many better salady leaves.
Yeah, so many bitter leaves, and don't need another one.
And
Correct.
yeah, it's too overpowering. I'd much prefer spinach or lettuce or any other.
I like rocket because I like that it actually has a flavour.
Correct,
The
Richard.
flavour though is vile.
Oh, here he comes! Fucking look at him. He takes so much pleasure from not allowing anything in heaven and not allowing anything in hell.
So what we've established is my food hell is Stuart's food heaven, and vice versa.
I don't love rocket or anything, but Rich is absolutely
He
right.
hates me.
Rocket is better than things that don't have a flavour. It's got a nice peppery flavour.
Yeah.
I don't think Stuart hates or loves any food. He just fucking loves disagreeing and hurting people.
However, I should say Tony's other food hell was going to be raw celery, and that does have a strong flavour, which I hate.
Raw celery is one of the worst foods known to man.
Yeah.
But do you know what? The reason I didn't say that was because I thought it wouldn't get into food hell because it's always such a base ingredient.
Yeah,
for things like stews and stuff.
Yeah,
It's not raw then, is it?
Raw celery, though. If you could have said raw celery.
Oh, okay.
Nate loves
change
raw
it then.
celery. What you go on? Yeah, go on. Change it to raw celery.
Right. Can I go for raw celery then, please?
Veto!
Hey, name the last day that you didn't have raw celery.
Today? I don't have it every day.
But how many
Who's having it
days
after?
Do you dip it? What's your dip?
No, dip, my friend. No. I mean, raw celery has a lovely canal that is just perfect for putting sauce right down the middle of.
Ketchup.
Salad cream or...
To take away the taste of the
Nutella.
horrible taste of celery.
No, I love the taste of celery. I would eat celery raw and neat.
Nathan.
See, what gets me is when people give you that fact about how you burn more calories eating celery than the celery has in itself. I'm like, that's wonderful, but why isn't that a fact for decent foods?
Yeah, like cookies.
Yeah. Why doesn't Nutella have
God,
that?
imagine.
Celery.
I see people having like the celery, like they do like the celery logs or whatever, like with the peanut butter as a snack. And I think I'd love to have that, except it's got freaking celery on it. And often at work we'll do like with the kids like healthy eating stuff, and we'll do like stuff where I like lay out stuff like fruit and veg and stuff for them to try to taste different things. And I'll always try everything, just with that whole teacher mentality of like, you know, you can't expect the kids to eat it if you don't, blah blah. And also as you get older, taste change. So I've often like tried another bit, and I'm just like, nope, still can't do it.
Correct.
So yeah, celery.
Celery is also the only musical instrument that I can play. So
Brilliant.
Nice reference. Yeah, it can get both rocket and celery can get to fuck for me.
Thank you, MJ.
Well, sadly, I would have allowed rocket in because I don't like the texture of it particularly. It's not the flavour so much. I just find it so limp and pathetic.
You like to hear Tony's final choice of hell?
Yeah. This one I'm sure MJ will veto, and everyone else will probably agree with, just going by the law of averages.
I would veto the fuck out of your final one because it's delicious.
Yeah, no, my last one is very, very controversial, and I will get vetoed, so that's why I didn't choose it. But I would have said Jaffa Cakes.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that's not going anywhere.
But no, exactly, no, that's why I didn't say it.
not
I knew
touching.
it's very controversial. But yeah,
Good
people
God, no.
so many people can eat like a whole packet of Jaffa Cakes in one go, but I don't like the chocolate they use. I don't like the jelly stuff in the middle. I don't like the cakey base bit. There is nothing I like about Jaffa Cake, but I do appreciate that other people love them.
I think Jaffa Cakes are a bit dead. They're a bit dead, but they're not hell, are they? Come on.
Well, no, that's why I didn't say it.
Yeah.
It was just on my list of notes.
Yeah, Tony.
Which are you choosing then? Are you choosing rocket or celery?
Yeah, I'm going to go for raw celery.
Right, so that's that you're vetoing that then, Nathan?
Not that it matters because none of them are going in.
I've never vetoed something more.
Wow.
You've changed.
Yeah, I've always loved celery.
Oh,
I'm keeping my own list now, Stuart, so thank you.
all right.
Wow. Oh my God.
You get a rundown of what is in hell and heaven at the moment.
Yeah, heaven, burgers, pizza, halloumi, burritos, cookies, tacos, fried chicken, Sunday roasts, milk chocolate and ice cream. Hell, yeah, hell contains aniseed, the concept of food contamination, Brussels sprouts, and gimmicky hot sauces.
Yeah, I was so excited that I might be the first one to put a drink in.
Yeah.
Should have said orange squash.
Yeah, cream soda.
Flavoured gin.
Yeah.
Whiskey.
Yeah. Milk.
Beer.
Coffee.
Water.
Yeah, milk. I'd let milk in.
Tough crowd.
It's a nice glass of
Water I
milk.
probably would put in heaven. I mean, I know that we need it, but
Do we?
yeah, does anyone actually need it?
Nate gets all his water content from all the celery he eats, so
Yeah.
he's fine.
And I am a picture of health. Awkward pause leading into outro, and thank you very much, Rich and Tony, for joining us on this expedition of the kitchen. It's almost a rhyme. Yeah, thank you very much for joining us. It's been a great barrel of fun, possibly one of our longest ever episodes.
No, not even close, I don't think.
Oh, one of though.
What,
One
2
of.
hours and 24 minutes, mate? It's not even fucking close.
I
It's
was
under
going to
that.
say a
Probably 2 hours
quick
and
thing,
10.
but I think it will go off on a tangent. It won't be quick. But are people finding that they're cooking more, obviously at home because of what's going on? But are people finding that if you weren't cooking as much, you're cooking more?
blood.
I'm the
What about
same.
the same?
Same.
About the same.
About the same. Yeah.
So it was a quick point. Then that's handy.
I'm having more biscuits if that's a separate question, but that's
Hey, more biscuits.
I have had, yeah. I've probably had more biscuits in the last 7 weeks than I've had in the last 7 years.
What kind?
How much celery do you have to eat to burn them?
That's what you're sprinkling on, that little groove of the celery. Just biscuit crumbs.
I did once contemplate how much chocolate to celery ratio you would have to have so that one burned off the other. But,
I don't think that's true about the celery.
oh, come on then.
I believe it's not true.
You think that's a conspiracy by the man? You think that the government has been spreading
I
that?
don't believe it's true.
Try and encourage people to eat the nastiness that is raw celery.
Ah, leave celery alone. Come on.
Celery
Next week I'm gonna be contacting the celery tourism board to get us.
Nate's like, oh, you know what I fancy after this conversation? I sold cold stickered rice.
Love it. Bloody love a bit of
raw
celery. Sticker celery.
Raw
Lovely
bed.
and crunchy and stringy and oh yeah, get him in the mouth hole. Right. That's
As
enough.
opposed to
Well, you heard the rumours. People. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been a blast. Sorry that it's taken so long to have you both back on individually and jointly.
you should be.
I am. I just said I am. But yeah. So please remind us where can they where can they find the Cookie Mill?
You can find the Cookie Mill at www.thecookiemill.co.uk, or on Facebook we're just called the Cookie Mill, or on Instagram we're called at the Cookie Mill UK.
And you sell
Deep dish cookies.
And the 6-star, you want to edit that bit, Stuart? Sorry.
Do you want to, Stuart?
The 6-star anniversary product that you're releasing. When is that available?
That will be available. We're doing 2 restocks of it. Well, it's going to be 2 weeks of it, but at the moment, if I'm saying restocks because obviously we're selling out quite quick at the moment. The restocks will be on Friday the 22nd and Friday the 29th at 6 p.m.
Okay, so listeners, you hear that? If you like cookies, you will like this. You need to buy it, but you need to set an alarm. Don't be disappointed.
Yeah.
If you miss out.
Yeah. Remember, it's just me doing it. I mean, Tony's helping me at the moment, but there's only so much butter and eggs I can buy to keep up with the
Well,
quantity.
there's only so much butter and eggs available.
Yeah.
100% support local, support small businesses, support people like Rich.
I'm literally not as big as Cadbury World, so please don't expect me to be.
Almost.
Are you not? You're not as big as Cadbury?
Not yet. Cookie Mill World coming soon, 2021.
Heard it here first.
I will 100% be buying some of your cookies soon. I can't decide whether to get the because it's limited edition or to wait until
bit more editing.
That's got to be edited out.
Bit more editing for me to do. Yeah, nice one. Yeah.
You do have to choose between one or the other.
To order the other things.
Special product.
You want to start that again?
I definitely will be buying some of your products. I can't decide whether to buy the special edition somethings or the other things, the normal things. So I don't know which one to buy. So, but one of them.
You'll have one that, well, from how well the flavours come out, I can see myself doing the special edition every year. So you can either have some all year round or you can have some once a year.
Some you've had before, some you haven't.
You're actually lying because you can have both if you want, if you order both. So.
That is very true. That is very true. But I'm also on reduced pay and have less money at the moment, so I have to sort of think about what I buy.
Thinking about that by supporting your friends, I suppose.
Oh, I'm buying other products as well, though. So I'm buying lots of things at the moment. And
on the plus side, the classic flavours will be around all year round. So once you're back to full pay, treat yourself.
And they're deep dish cookies, so they feed all your family. Do you not want to feed your family?
It will be separate, we know it. So Christmas flavours will be there.
I mean, that implies that when he buys cookies, he's going to be sharing them. So.
Oh yeah, shit.
Wouldn't have a choice.
Oh wow, family.
Would eat them all. Thank you, Stuart and Michael.
You don't need to thank me. Just know that I'm always here for you.
And I'm always here for you, Michael. How are you doing?
Very, very badly. How are you?
I'm okay. Stuart, how are you doing?
Put a brave face on it.
Yeah. Listeners, how are you doing? Goodbye.
God.
Stuart made that dark quite quickly.
Do we need to put like a suicide helpline on or something?
Yeah.
What is it actually?
If you've been affected by anything in tonight's show, contact Nate for a little chat.
I would genuinely love to hear from any listeners that are having problems because I'm here for you.
And I would like to extend that out to the listeners as well and just encourage you to contact Nate if you do have any.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to fucking hear. No.
Oh God, if I can.
Only because I can't handle them.
Uncle Nate.
If I can save a life, this whole thing has been no. Too far. To
be fair, you would be the best one out of everyone.
God,
to
definitely.
lend listening ear.
Good grief.
Probably.
Yeah.
They're just not me, basically.
No, not me either.
Call 07.
No, Stuart, you're already like a mentor-like figure.
A mental-like figure.
Oh, is it still part of the show? Or?
I thought it wasn't, and then it got a bit showy again.
No, I do. I don't know.
Love to you all. Love to your mothers.
It's still going.
Word to your mother. Right, that's the end, isn't it, now?
That'll be the end.